XboxEra podcast is powered by you, and if you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. And as a thank you for your support, you get cool stuff, and we get to keep doing what we do. Now let's get into it. Hello friends, and welcome to episode 113 of the XboxEra podcast. I'm Sik Nick, and I'm joined as usual by Special Nick.
What's going on?
And it's our distinct pleasure, the pre-show show, to have the man with the million strands of perfect hair, Miles Dompier. How you doing, Miles?
I'm fantastic. How are you gents doing in the calm before the storm?
Yeah, good,
it's
mate.
Nice.
Good.
It's nice.
It's just vibing, as the kids say,
Yes.
marathon podcast gauntlet today, but
Yeah.
it's an exciting time,
Yeah.
Christmas for gamers, as they call it, or whatever. But
I still call it E3. I still call it E3, and yeah, it is Christmas for gamers. And I think we've all been. Well, I know Nick, for you, it's super early morning, but you've got a full podcast slate over the next couple of days.
This is the first of many coming over the next 3 days.
And
Some I've even forgotten that I've booked myself in for.
But not only that, Miles, you did chat days earlier today. You jumped on Box and Burger's prediction show with, it felt like the entire Xbox creator community almost. He did a really good job in organising that. I was on there as well. And now you're here. You're here.
I'm here, just ready to rock.
XboxEra crew and the pre-show show. And I'm looking at the show notes and I'm like, oh boy, there's a lot to talk about. And that's not even including the show.
Predictions.
And the actual predictions. And I don't know whether we make bingo cards out of this, but we'll figure it out as we go. As always, before we start off, have we been playing any video games this week? And we'll go with Miles first, please. You've been playing anything, or have you just been crazy busy with all of this E3 nonsense?
I have. I've been trying to sneak some game stuff in. I can say I am playing Shredder's Revenge. Can't talk about it. But outside of that, I've been playing The Quarry as well. So did the review over for Windows Central on that. Loved it. Super campy, super cheesy. Amazing upgrade from Supermassive. If you liked Until Dawn, it's pretty much an evolution of everything that they set up with that foundation. Their best looking game. It's still got a little bit of the jank when you're controlling the characters, but so good. Ted Raimi, his performance in that, such a perfect creep in that. So all of the performances for the most part are really good. So if you want some cheesy summer horror, check out The Quarry. Really love that. And then outside of that, I'm still playing Evil Dead the game. Still jumping on every night with the squad and getting a couple rounds in. So yeah, that's mostly been me.
That's a pretty good list. I know we've got one of our guys playing through The Quarry at the moment. I don't think we made Embargo, but I expect to see their feedback early next week and our review for that one. But I think we have TMNT due inbound early next week as well. So I'm sure Nick, I think, is fielding the review for that one as a big fan.
For which one?
Scrolling.
Oh, yeah. TMNT. Yeah.
We'll
Looking
see.
forward to it.
What about you, Nick? You've been playing anything, but just the usuals? Fortnite?
No. One new game. Mario Strikers.
Here we go.
Of course, it's going to be a Nintendo game. Yeah, I've been playing Mario Strikers Battle League. It's everything I expected. It's a new Mario Strikers. It is a little light on content, as many have pointed out. And of course, I mean, who the hell plays Nintendo games for the online aspect?
I read online that it doesn't have 4 players on one console versus 4 players. Oh, no, it doesn't have 4v4 unless you're all on one console each.
Yeah, you can't have 8 players online, right? That's the weird...
Something
you
like
can.
That,
you need 2 people per console.
4 switches
so you can have
total,
4
2
consoles.
people.
Yeah, 2 people playing locally together on 4 switches.
Nintendo was this close to having a decent online...
Name a better duo, Nintendo and online. Name one.
Yeah, it's but again, I've never ever bought or played Nintendo's games for the online. Like,
But I want him to
because-
get there. I want him. Just get me to Xbox 360 levels. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to reinvent the wheel.
I'll take OG Xbox levels. What do you mean? Like, I'll take
Get
OG
me there,
Xbox
please.
levels. Don't worry about 360. 360 would be like out of this world. I'll take OG. I'll take Dreamcast at this point.
Yeah.
Like, but the game is everything I thought it would be. It's a new modern Mario Strikers, a little bit more depth to the gameplay than the others had. Really nice visually. It's fun. I'm just going through winning each cup now one by one. You earn coins to then buy bits and pieces of armor and boosts and stuff. Like, it's all stats, very RPG light.
Sounds about right.
Does it feel as good as it looked? Because it looked like it was going to almost scratch the Rocket League itch. And I know you're a big Rocket League guy. Is it on that level in terms of like moment-to-moment gameplay?
Have you played any of the older ones?
Yes. Played the GameCube.
Then, it feels very, very much like the GameCube one.
Okay.
Like, in terms of the actual feel, it's almost indistinguishable from my memory of... Because I showed my son, I wanted to show my son the GameCube one, because I've got my Wii set up, which obviously plays GameCube games. So I pulled it out a couple of months ago and played it, and now I've played the new one, and to me they feel almost identical in terms of how they feel. And it is the same dev, so it's just they've added a little bit more depth. There's a couple of little moves and extra things in it that the older one didn't have, but it still feels the same, which isn't a bad thing, because the GameCube game felt amazing. So
you're happy.
Yeah.
That's what we need to know. You're a happy man.
It's good.
Good. I'm glad you're happy. I've been playing quite a few titles. I was just looking through my achievements list. I downloaded a bunch of stuff. So I've never played the Sigma versions of Ninja Gaiden. All three games came to Game Pass. After being able to play Ninja Gaiden Black with all of the OG Xbox upgrades, the 4K and 60 and all of that, the Sigma version is a blurry, horrible mess.
Really?
The only benefit is achievements, which are badly done and a bit sparse. But I started playing that, and they chuck in a couple of different bits and pieces, and I was like, okay, I've played this so many times, like I'm not as interested to do this again. So I jumped into Ninja Gaiden 2, and I've got quite far in that, and I'm swiftly reminded how much I hate the wolves with swords in their mouths. Anyone that's played Ninja Gaiden 2, if you feel that vibe, that was me. But it was just startling. I used to be able to complete these games, and I feel slow now. I'm like, where's that hero mode that they built into these for all the idiots that couldn't do them at normal or Master Ninja? But and as well as that, I tried a couple of the Game Pass games out. So I've been playing. I played a little bit of Disc Room, which is quite cool. It's a neat little puzzle thing. Rooms full of discs. Avoid them for as long as you can. Try and beat the developer times. But mostly, I finally went back and installed Jedi Fallen Order, and I've been playing through that. And I'm kind of like, I'm going to complete this one now. So that might fall to the wayside in the coming week, but at the moment, I'm quite enjoying it. So yeah, it's been a nice week of gaming for me. Nice variety. But yeah, there's been a lot of news this week. I don't want to spend too much on Summer Game Fest. I want to talk primarily about Xbox's news dump on Thursday, and obviously then we can get into the show and everything else. But just quickly, Summer Game Fest. I watched our live stream with Jesse, who is producing the show in the background, as always, with him and Arsenal. It was okay. Bit slow. The Rock was a bit weird.
I was asleep, so I did not see it.
Oh, The Rock. I'm sorry.
Painful.
That was one of the weirdest moments of any video game press conference ever. And that's saying something. And The Rock, normally super charismatic, super funny dude. That moment.
He phoned that in.
It felt like he was mid-workout, and then Jeff started calling him. And he's like, oh, damn. Oh, yeah, I forgot I said I was going to do this. Picked up his phone and started talking about how he's the most beautiful, sexiest man alive, had his shameless Zoa plug, like lifting the can up, like everything about it. It felt like some sort of AI algorithm wrote a script for The Rock, and The Rock was just superimposed into this game conference. And it was weird. It was weird. Like, I'm laughing about it now, but in the moment, I couldn't believe it was real. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
I didn't realize that was
conversation
part of Summer Game Fest. I saw the
Yeah.
memes and stuff that came
Oh,
from that, and I had no idea that came from Game Fest.
It was so weird. It was just
Oh.
strange, and it was just
Yeah.
like if you're gonna pimp out a guest and tweet about, and I get it, right? From Jeff's perspective, as the runner of the show, he has to go around and he can only get what he can get, right? Microsoft have probably got a little bit of a bigger pull, perhaps in some instances. People might not be ready. Sony aren't going to want to give him everything that they've got. But it felt like at times, I don't know whether it's a desire to do right by the devs, and then you get these really lengthy sections where they'll show the game and then they'll come on and talk about the game for far too long for your average audience, and the pacing just really lost it in the second half of the show for me. But it was
really
odd.
spend like 15-20 minutes on the Last of Us remake.
Well, that was the final part, and obviously massive bummer for Jeff for all of that to leak. I mean, it had leaked that there was a remake being done, right? But
ages ago.
The extent to how much it leaked, is in the full announce with screen grabs and box art, and it's completely remade from the ground up. It happened, I think, an hour or two before the show.
Yeah, it would have been a cool reveal. Like, even if you're not that excited, knowing that it was coming basically 3 months after when it was revealed, that would have been cool. And it is a bummer that was the grand finale, and the grand finale was spoiled online a couple hours before the show started.
Yeah.
So they made fun of it on the show. Like, clearly they were bummed about it. But Troy Baker, bless his soul, but I saw him too much. He was on stage too much at this conference.
I hear him too much. I see him too much.
We didn't need Neil Druckmann to come out and say, Last of Us multiplayer, it's still a thing. We're not going to show you anything. Actually, just kidding. We're going to show you concept art and then have Jeff awkwardly interview him. You directed an episode too, right? And I did. We're going to see a trailer? No trailer. Here's a picture of the episode I directed.
Really?
Okay, cool. And then, that whole segment was 20 minutes. And then and by the way, one more thing. Here's Last of Us remade. And it looks good.
Wow.
Like, undeniably, it looks impressive. I'm excited to see what the gameplay changes are, because we didn't get a lot of that. And they stress that they've rebuilt it from the ground up. So I'm curious to see how the game feels compared to the original.
Well, there's a weirder thing that happened with that segment is they talked a lot, showed the trailer, and then talked a lot, and then it just ended. It was very weird.
Yes, it was a weird way to finish the show.
But here's a question for everyone, and this is the last thing we'll talk about before we talk about Xbox stuff. What's your opinion on remakes of remasters of games that have already been remastered once and being full $70 US? Do you feel that that's a fair price point, or do you think that is like, are you padding out, or are you just hoping people are going to buy this because it's The Last of Us and it's prestige? Like,
I think it's a little bit of column A and column B, because the thing is, in the end, it's still The Last of Us 1. Rebuilt from the ground up or not. Like, because I spoke about this on Twitter, this isn't like the Resident Evil remakes. The Resident Evil remakes are basically different games. They are, for all intents and purposes, new games. So I understand them being full price. This is a more traditional remake. I don't want to use the word remaster because that's not what it is. So charging $70, the new $70 price, and then not having multiplayer as part of it, which the original had, does seem a bit like...
Yeah, I saw lots of criticism.
It's one of those things where ultimately I'm not going to tell anyone what's worth it to them, because we're all hypocrites. We all say, like, I look at this game isn't for me, so I think it's a ripoff, and then some obscure remake will come out that's exactly what we want.
Trials of Mana.
It's $70. Throw it out. So I'm not going to tell anyone it's not worth it. If you're hyped about it, cool, be excited. It seems like they are caring. They're putting some work in. Will I pay $70? No. But I'm not the biggest fan of The Last of Us. Great game. I understand why people love it. But like you said, if The Legend of Mana gets remade and they change nothing, let's go. $70.
Well, I mean, look at Mario Strikers. Ooh. For all intents and purposes, that's like a remake of the GameCube game, and I just paid $80 for it. So
every time Super Mario Bros. Came out, I bought it day one. It's the same game, basically. It's the same idea. Yeah. $60. I was there day one every single time. So yeah, I'm not going to tell people what to spend their money on, but I do get it, and I think that means The Last of Us multiplayer is probably going to be free to play, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it feels like this is going to be a games as a service, big attempt to pull in one of their all-star IPs and get some of that games as a service money and transactions and factional, dress up your character stuff. Yeah, good luck to them. I hope it lands. And obviously with Bungie on board and helping with, that kind of live service design, maybe it will work. Good. Fingers crossed for people that love
Modern Warfare looked good.
Modern Warfare did.
Oh yeah, we got a nice full level playthrough.
I liked how that looked.
Yeah,
very much so.
I'm not gonna buy it because
I probably will.
I'll wait. It's a campaign. I can wait a little while and then I'll play it when it's cheaper, maybe, or when it comes to Game Pass, maybe. I don't know.
And Street Fighter 6 looks amazing.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter 6.
So amazing.
Guile is thick. They showed off Guile at Summer Game Fest. And that boy, everyone in this game is just beefed. You got like the broad-chested Ryu. You got Guile, who's just huge, the biggest dude I've ever seen. He's like the size of Zangief. Like they're just like making out. If Zangief is in this, my God, what is he gonna look like?
I think he is. He was part of the leaked roster.
Was he? Okay. Yeah, well, let me see that trailer because that dude's going to be 50 feet tall if we're on pace here.
I can't wait for this game. It looks so good. And I love Capcom. You can tell Capcom have really learned lessons from Street Fighter V. Like, just from reveal to rollout to style to themes to, like, it was funny to see Maximilian's take not long after my tweet, because, again, I haven't played Street Fighter like all these others have, as in Street Fighter 6, but just based on the footage I've seen, it looks very Street Fighter 3 meets Street Fighter Alpha 3. And it was funny to see Maximilian say, there's a lot of Street Fighter 3 in this. I was like, oh, good. So my Street Fighter instincts are still okay, as you can see here.
They're still on the board.
Yes, and I'm hanging for 6. Absolutely can't wait. It looks so good.
2023 is going to be bonkers. Hey, let's pause for a moment and let Nick deal with all of those super chats that are queuing up.
Yeah, there's a few.
So you can tackle them, and then we'll get into some meat and potatoes.
Okay. Georgie, dude, talk about Avowed, Banjo Kazooie. Ask Grubb Miles as well.
Well, we'll get into show stuff in a bit, right?
Because there's a lot flying around at the moment, isn't there?
There's a lot.
I saw one from Faisal. Faisal, will Nick turn off the show after 007 is shown? So that's going to be interesting when that happens live on the stream. When I see that GoldenEye moment, I don't know what's going to happen. There's a fair chance
going to be like
that I'll
4 a.m.-ish for you, and everyone's asleep.
No, okay. So I've organised that. I will be at my parents' house. Because my parents are on holiday, so my parents' house on the beach is empty. So I am going to be at their house. So later tonight, it's now Sunday morning. So in exactly 12 hours from now, I will be driving to my parents' house down at the beach, which is empty. I'll have all this set up down at my parents' for 2:30 in the morning. I'm gonna set an alarm. And I'll be all alone, so I can scream as much as I want. I can react. I can do whatever the hell I want without waking anyone up.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is dedication from Mr. Special Nick there. I mean,
so when GoldenEye makes its appearance, I don't know what's going to happen.
GoldenEye makes its appearance.
Nah, man, it's going to be there. It is going to be there. It is going to be there.
Awesome.
VK Andrew. Hey guys, did Miles tell you all to watch the Black Adam trailer? Watch the Black Adam trailer yet? Just kidding. Make sure to drink your ZOAs, your Zoas, and enjoy your gaming.
Sip that. Did you guys watch? Now let's go.
Did you guys watch the Black Adam trailer?
No, we had to. We were forced to.
I actually turned it off because I didn't want our channel to get DMCA'd. We literally, every time Jeff puts on a show, anything that's a movie or licensed music gets it not just demonetized, it gets it freaking blocked. So I'm just like, no, I'm cutting them all out from now on.
I watched that. It was interesting. Like, I didn't know that Black Adam was basically Superman.
Oh,
I didn't know that. Is that the case? I'm
Yeah,
not up
just
with my
more
comic
magic.
book lore.
He's all about magic.
no
Okay.
idea. No idea.
Absolutely. Did you see that tweet? There's a tweet from what I am now being made aware is like a parody account. And this caught traction for real, even though it's a parody account. It was like breaking news. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson reveals that Black Adam is the first ever superhero movie to be filmed without any CGI whatsoever. And this caught on in a huge way where people were like, what? So he was like really flying around and shooting lightning bolts out of his hands?
I saw
Yeah,
I
it's
saw
one of
some great like joke tweets off that where breaking The Rock just confirmed that he has killed a man filming Blackout Adam.
Just unbelievable stuff.
On that note,
so
though,
good.
On that note, and only tangent I will initiate personally for the rest of the night, I promise. How good is The Boys this season
amazing.
so far?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Episode 4 last night.
Yeah, me too. Me
All
too.
caught up.
Mate, the first episode, before the credits had even dropped, I'd seen things that I kind of wish I hadn't. And
Yeah, I
also
know.
that
It's full
only
on.
The Boys could do. I was like, well, The Boys is back. I was just,
Yeah. It's
Yeah, they
such
know
a
how to
good
keep
show.
you guessing. You know, they do stuff
Yeah.
constantly that you've never seen in any show. Again, whether you want to see it or not, I don't know. That's up to you, but you'll see it.
Yeah.
You'll see
you
it.
will see what you will see. I mean, it's what incredible. I love that show.
Amazing
so
show.
much.
Amazing show.
Anyway, that's my only
Urban
tangent.
is so good.
Yeah,
Carl
I love him.
Urban's so good.
Even if he does the worst Cockney accent known to man, it's almost
It's
endearing.
not that bad.
It's
It's
endearing
not
to
that
me.
bad.
It's just like, yeah, it's just, yeah, he's just, yeah, okay, this is fine. You know, it's
He is
fine.
like Aussie/Kiwi though.
yeah, I'll let him off. He's doing
And
okay.
Kiwis probably struggle a little bit more with a British accent than Aussies do. Just a little bit.
He camps
But
it
yeah,
up for sure. He camps it up.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's great.
Oh,
He does such
there'd
a
be an
good job.
element of that to it for sure.
But yeah, the boys,
Somnia.
great show.
Yes, amazing show. Somnia. Shout out. Oh, and they confirmed season 5 too. 4.
Season 4. Yeah.
Calm
Sorry,
down
4.
there.
No. I'm watching so many TV shows at the moment that they're all blending into each other. Somnia. Shout out to all my horror fans, space fans, and space horror fans. We feasting. Okay, back to hiding to avoid leaks. Yes, Callisto Protocol, Dead Space,
Routine.
The 15 other games that looked like Dead Space that we saw.
yes. The entropy lab, I think was one.
Routine looked really cool, honestly.
Routine, yeah, that's a
Routine looked-
re-reveal as well.
Yeah, from 10 years ago.
Mental.
Yep. Oh, it's a lot of good stuff coming.
You got to wonder if the devs from Callisto Protocol and his team, Glenn Schofield, and they're like, you know, the year that they announced, yeah, look, here's, you know, yeah, I'm doing Dead Space again, but I'm doing it all my way. None of these big mega publishers, and then EA's like, we're remaking Dead Space in the same year. He must be like, jerks.
I feel like that's partly the reason for the December release date. If I'm just
To beat
throwing
teams
out
to
some
punch.
gossip and some drama, is they want that. They want that moment, have their game come out and just kind of potentially overshadow Dead Space.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
January, honestly, at this point, I don't even know how realistic that is. But
We'll see.
EA seems to think they can do it.
It does look a
Interesting.
lot like Dead Space, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Like a lot like Dead Space, even down to the gun showing you how many bullets are left and the life on the back of your neck.
Exactly. There's no HUD. I love
yeah.
that. I love the slim design, so you can
Oh,
focus
look.
on the atmosphere.
Oh,
The
I'll take
deaths they shown where you're getting pulled into the grinder and just blended.
Oh, terrific.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing is, I look at these games and I'm like, it looks amazing. Never going to play it in my life.
Nah, I
Never.
will. I will.
Nope. Won't do it. I
Good, because I'm all over that review, damn it.
Good, that's fine. A good friend of mine played through Dead Space. He says, it's brilliant, but I did have to play it in the day with the audio muted and with subtitles on. I was like, fair enough. But anyway.
Okay. Last super chat. Cartoon Soldier Get to the showcase. We will.
All right,
we will, mate.
all right. Calm.
Whoa. Yeah, let's just ease into it, all right? Savor the ride.
Less than 24 hours away, people. Come on. So look, Xbox focused from now on. They did a big news dump, and
yes,
I think they invited a lot of the press behind the scenes to kind of get a heads up on what's coming, so that the press could have all of their stories.
Did we get invited
and
to that?
Pieces ready. No, we didn't.
Okay,
we did not get invited to that. I'm not hurt. I'm not butthurt over it at all whatsoever. Do they know who we are? Either way, let's try and do these in show notes, because the fans watching right now, all 337 of them watching us live. Love you guys. If you're new, please hit like, because I'm only seeing 71 likes. The maths doesn't add up. I should be seeing.
You haven't said smash the like button though.
Well, smash that like button.
Let me do it.
There.
Smash that like button.
There. Come on now.
I'm watching. And boom, the number's going up by 10 digits every moment, and the fireworks are going off. But yeah, a huge shout out to everybody watching. But they've probably already seen all this news, right? So let's just fly through it fairly swiftly. But lots of good things. First good thing, Design Labs. Nick, you can finally design your own pads in Australia.
Oh my god, it's taken so many years, and I can finally get a Design Labs controller without paying ZDocs $250 for the privilege. Oh my god. I organised one for my daughter, I organised one for my son through Chris, and it cost me 250 Australian dollars.
That's dedication.
Now I can get one for $100 because it's available in Australia now. So I've already done a couple of setups. I have a 360 controller, because everyone's going to do a 360 controller, let's be honest.
Of course.
But it has the black grips on it, because you've got to have the grips.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I also put together a purple one, because I love purple. It's my favourite colour. So I'm deciding on which one I'm going to go with. It's my birthday next week. So my wife's like, why don't you get yourself one of those controllers? I'm like, maybe I will, Millhouse. Maybe I will.
Well, I'm very glad that it's out there for you now. And obviously, there's all the new Pride controllers as well. They're making good, which we spoke about last week.
Yes.
Do you know what? I have so many pads. Do you know my limited edition Halo Infinite Elite pad?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a happy man.
Is that falling apart?
I picked it up, and unless, and I give my kids no inch of doubt whatsoever that they could have done this, but I picked it up, and as I lifted it, it rattled. There's something inside broken.
That's not your kids. By the way, I found out what that rattle is. Because my Elite controller, as I've mentioned a few times on this show, has completely fallen apart. My Elite 2. It's crawling to the finish line. I'm just waiting for that white one to be announced. Because mine is literally falling apart to the point where I can open it up and look inside it.
Nice.
The thing that rattles fell out.
Oh.
That rattle we all hear in Elite controllers, it fell out. It's just this little piece of plastic.
I know what it is.
I don't know
too.
what purpose
I know what it is. So if you listen to this is my old Elite 2.
Yeah, that's the
Can you
rattle.
hear that? I'm hoping that comes through for people listening.
Oh,
right.
yeah, we can hear
Now, when I
rattle.
picked this up and I heard this on my nice, shiny green, my favorite color, Halo Infinite Elite, I was like, if one of my kids has dropped this. Unfortunately, the design of it is all scuffed, so I wouldn't know. But as I was playing, the trigger down here suddenly felt a bit, it still worked, but it was different. It was spongy. And I was like, that's where the bit of plastic is. But this bit of plastic, it can actually get to the point where it rolls in under a stick and stops the stick moving. So
it gets under the trigger and stops the trigger going.
Microsoft, this is one thing you need to sort out. So Halo Infinite came out November of 2021. So I should still be in warranty. But I'm really worried that they'll send me back a normal Elite 2 and not my green Elite Halo pads.
That's a good
So
point.
I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to have to go through the warranty process for that. But I'm grumpy about it.
Yeah, my Elite's gone.
Other news. We can stream our library or select titles, because I know you've written here your entire library, and that's not quite true, Miles. And you probably you were there for the press briefing, weren't you? Did you get to go to the thing, or was that?
I didn't attend that, so I didn't write that up for us.
But so it selects titles from your actual library. So we're not talking the Game Pass library that you get with your subscription. We're talking about
stuff you want.
Miles, you just bought The Quarry. you'll be able to stream that online, or you'll be able to stream. Evil Dead is on Game Pass, though, isn't it? Keep me honest here.
The Quarry?
No,
Evil Dead
no.
or Quarry.
Oh no. Neither one of those yet.
But you would technically be able to then stream them from the cloud.
Yes.
If Microsoft deem it and the publisher deems that it's allowed. And
I was about to say it'd be the publishers and the developers that would be giving pushback on something like that. We've spoken about it on this podcast before, I'm pretty sure, that they were planning. And I think they mentioned it last year, that the plan is for you to be able to stream your library.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I remember Phil saying it one time on an E3 with Jeff Grubb.
Yeah.
That was what they want.
Yeah.
Correct.
And it's a cool future to arrive to, right?
It is.
This lies into the biggest kind of, I think, piece of news out of all of that, which was the Samsung gaming app integration with the Xbox app coming to 2022 TV models. That feels like a bit of a like limiting your audience somewhat. But, Miles, what's your take on what this will do in terms of access to these kinds of games, the AAA, the traditional gaming console sphere and let's pretend it's not just 2022 TVs. Let's fast forward a couple of years and it's on LG and it's on Samsung. What do you think the impact will be for Microsoft's sort of dreams of reaching 2 billion gamers? Do you think it will move the needle somewhat, or is this all pipe dreams?
There's the famous line that you mentioned, the 2 billion gamers, trying to reach all of them. There are a lot of people who play video games, but, as much as we focus and fixate on the hardcore, people who buy the consoles, people who buy the high-end gaming PCs, people who want that best case native experience, there's a huge contingent of people who would play games if the barrier to entry was just lower. Because the reality is, a ton of people would never, ever pay $500 for a console, ever. No, in no world, no scenario ever. Like, it's not that they don't like games or they hate video games. It's just that barrier it's too expensive. But if you tell someone, hey, do you have a controller lying around? If you want to check this out, you can go on your TV, you can install this app, you can pay for Game Pass, $10-15 a month, and boom, there you go. You're playing games. That's what they're trying to do. It's not designed to replace the Series X or replace.
It's additive.
It's exactly. They want to, break down the barriers and let more people check it out. And I think that will add value, because if you can tell your mom, dad, uncle, whoever, like, let's say they see Halo or something, like, oh, that looks cool. And before you have to say, well, you got to buy a Series X. And they're like, But if you say, oh yeah, just go on your TV and download this app and we can play Halo, I'm like, oh, cool, I'll check that out. So I think they want that really widespread appeal. Now, the thing that they have to nail is when this rolls out, it needs to be a good experience. It can't be an experience that has a ton of latency, has visual problems, because then a bunch of people who thought this idea was interesting are going to check it out once and then never again and be like, and write it off completely. So I hope when they roll this out that they have latency figured out, that the experience is good enough. It doesn't have to be as good as native, but we talk about it.
It won't ever be.
Yeah, we talk about it with the streaming apps, Netflix, HBO Max. As long as you get it good enough, people are willing to overlook some quality dips if the convenience and the experience is good enough. So I think that's what they're going for here. Is it an experience that opens some doors for a new audience and helps, get Xbox first-party titles in more households?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to trying it out, although I don't own a Samsung TV, so hopefully it will come to some of LG's units soon.
But it's not 2022.
Yeah.
So
you'll have to wait a little while.
I will.
But it's interesting, this isn't just an Xbox app on a Samsung. This is Samsung's gaming hub, and it's got other services in there, including, keep me honest, Stadia, and I saw a couple of other sub things. So you can envisage a world in a couple of years where maybe PlayStation Now rolls into that and other services.
Sure.
And you've just got this one-stop shop. Super interesting. But yeah, what a cool future we are rolling into.
Those that previewed the Samsung TV app said it was quite good, but again, that's in a controlled environment.
Best case scenario, probably.
That's right. So it'll be interesting to see how it does in the real world.
Yeah, I saw someone say that they tried it in hotel Wi-Fi, and my experience of hotel Wi-Fi, it varies massively from being absolutely awful to moderately impressive. So, we'll see. But yeah, lots of cool things. And the only other kind of cool piece was Microsoft Edge, Chromium browser is getting some additional gaming features to support those sort of gaming streaming things, including some of their, I don't know, I can't remember, is it sorting out some of the compression artifacts and sharpening the image?
What do they call it? Fidelity boost? Is that
Fidelity boost. Thank you,
Yeah.
Miles.
It's
Always
been in
on
beta, and now they're putting it into the real thing and adding some other edge features to it, but it's good. It's good. I like everything they're doing. And no, it doesn't mean that they're getting out of console hardware, as many seem to think on Twitter.
It's just a silly argument.
The reality is, as much as I'm a dirty console heathen, I understand that the future of gaming is not necessarily a box. A lot of other music streaming, media, movie streaming services realize you have to go where people are. At a certain point, there is a huge percentage of people who will never meet you halfway. They will never, under any circumstance, meet you halfway. You can either say, oh, well, I guess we won't target them, or you can do what Xbox is doing here and just go to them and say, here's an option for you. We know you're not going to buy the console. We know you're not going to buy a PC. Here you go. Does this interest you? And I think that is a good way to do it because, again, we are so used to exclusive hardware. We're so used to exclusive software. We're so used to, I have to buy this thing to play this thing. But video games, that's the last bastion where that's true. That's right. It's slowly dwindling. It's not going to be the reality in a few years. And yeah, it would be like imagining a world where, I mean, I guess we had it with HD, DVD, and Blu-ray.
Yeah, you're right. We did.
I guess that's the best case. Like, you have to have this machine to play this. And we look at that now, we just laugh because it's so ridiculous. But that's what gaming's going to be, I think, in the next 10 years.
Unless, of course, Microsoft, go crazy on their showcase tomorrow and be like, and here's the series handheld. Enjoy, everyone.
Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're getting somewhere.
Ooh. Anyway, we'll get into that kind of fun stuff in a second. Last few shout outs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is launching into Game Pass. That was a surprise.
6 player online, baby.
6 player. That's just going to be stupid.
So good.
That was the most hype moment from Summer Game Fest for sure. For me.
So many people were downplaying it. Oh, it's just, a little indie, Streets of Rage rep. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how much people loved the original color of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games.
Turtles in Time.
Funny.
One of the goats.
It's funny, though. Like, we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, Streets of Rage 4, same publisher, also launched into Game Pass. And it obviously must have done fairly well if they agreed to have Turtles on Game Pass as well. But the game looks so good. Like, I'm actually watching our stream for once. I've got my phone here set up in front of me so I can watch the stream while we do the show for once. And I'm looking at the footage that Jesse's playing. And, man, I love everything they're doing with that. I love absolutely everything they're doing with it.
I also got to say, like, I often have the stream open. Not always, but I often do because I'm usually juggling between the chat and the community questions, which are all about the showcase for the most part. So as soon as we get there, we can just interject these and throw these in. But god damn, Jesse does a good job in making our stream look professional as hell. It looks really good. So props to Jesse. I tip my cap, sir. So we got Turtles limited run doing 10 limited run Xbox physical games.
Yes.
Really cool. Some really good ones there as well.
Did you see the limited edition, the special edition of the Turtles that Limited Run are doing for the Xbox version with the VHS tape? And it looks so cool.
They do some really cool stuff.
Is that the one that's coming? I was going to say the Pizza Hut coupon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Super deep cut.
That is really
good. So good.
And I think I'm gonna, because I'm kind of lumping some of these in together. The last piece of Xbox news, which I thought was really cool. Microsoft, in their ever-going pursuit for as much accessibility and inclusivity as possible, have added, I think, American Sign Language. I want to say British Sign Language as well, but I think it's definitely ASL to their Twitch channel. So you might have seen with Forza Horizon 5, you can actually get that in the game, sign language for players to read as they play if they can't hear anything. And they're actually adding it to Twitch to include more people.
That's good.
How cool is that? I mean, the fact that they can just do that. I mean, it's I love seeing this Microsoft all in and just doing anything and everything they can. This is it's a great gen. So there's lots to be really excited about. Anyway, One more super chat, and then let's talk about the showcase. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of
the super chat. Labara X, thoughts on Microsoft locking demos behind a paywall?
Now, I left this because this was the one item we didn't talk about on the list, which is Project Morecock. Just in case anyone wanted to say any other kind of word.
Yes.
Project Morecock. I don't know what you might say instead of that, but it probably wouldn't be PG-13. So let's not put hashtag something else. Morecock. Which I saw some excerpts from Sarah Bond talking about it, which is a demo system for developers to sign on to monetize. Now, I might be misremembering, but locking demos behind a paywall.
I think they said it was part of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think that's what this person's suggesting when they say locking behind a paywall. Similar, I guess, if we're comparing it to PlayStation Plus's premium tier. Is that the final tier?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
So I guess very similar to that if we're doing a one-to-one comparison. But
isn't it a program they opt into?
Yes.
Like,
and they
it's
get
not
paid.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, because to say that demos are being locked behind a paywall would suggest that developers aren't allowed to release free demos outside of this, which I don't think is true.
No, this person, I think, is just saying that, I guess, wanting to get our thoughts on the fact that some will. You'll have to have a Game Pass Ultimate to play some of these demos.
Well, I think there's a couple of ways of thinking about this. And I think the fact that, clearly there are multiple developers operating and working on both platforms, many platforms. So naturally, some of this conversation would have ebbed and flowed between all of the platform holders, probably Nintendo too, right? And there may have been a conversation around, hey, gaming is ridiculous now. There's new titles daily, like multiple new titles. How do I get my game more noticed than others? And this is perhaps Microsoft in some form responding to what Sony was doing. But also listening to the developers who might have had a similar conversation with Sony as a platform holder, and they're arriving at similar solutions. But either way, a system to sort of pay devs, give them money, touch up some vertical slices, sell more games. It makes sense to me. But I wonder if there is a little bit of that. We're hearing this from all of these people. Sony are implementing something. We have the capability to do the same. Let's just tick the box and get that done too. I'm not saying that it hasn't taken a lot of work to get to that point, but I wonder if there's definitely some parallel thinking and everybody listening to each other over the last year or two. It was
explained a bit. So what these are is like when they're normally going to make a show floor demo, so something that's very far out, they're already making it. This incentivizes them to do a little more work to touch it up for a proper release. Like they're already making these demos for trade shows. So Project Morecroft was, let's incentivize them, let's pay them to do a little more work to touch them up so that they're ready for the public in a sense. So
remember the Halo Infinite press start to begin demo. Essentially, that type of experience would be part of this program.
Yeah.
That's interesting as well, because I'm seeing in the chat here, Calorie in the chat saying Sony's aren't demos. They are putting a 2-hour trial cap for a full game, and they're just monetizing the work of the devs and not paying the devs for it. I don't know how true that is.
I don't know if it's like EA Access, which I think is the better comparison there, because it is the full retail build and you can play a slice of it.
Yeah. You get a timer and that's it. You've had your lot. You can keep your progress and pay or walk away. You're cool. But yeah, super, super interesting. And yeah, if I get to try more games, especially for stuff that might be like a year away and get a little taster to get me interested in it, cool. Sign me up.
If devs are getting paid for it, then I don't see why it's so bad.
I don't think it's just a lot of this is like the obsession with Xbox versus PlayStation, because there was a lot of people very vocal on the Xbox side about the PlayStation demos behind a paywall. So now the other side's well, Xbox are doing it. And it's like, you can have your criticisms either way, but make sure, it's not just about because the other platform's doing it. Yeah.
But developers have openly stated how much disdain they have for doing these vertical slices. So you'd think them getting paid extra to do them would be a good thing.
Well, if they're doing
From a
them, especially if
developer
they're doing them
perspective.
anyway as a part of
That's
you know, a
right.
trade show or something like that. Oh, you mean we've just got to tighten it up and make sure it doesn't hard lock the machine ever, and then we're good to go? Okay, cool.
I mean, in terms of the sub thing, I mean, that's just Sony and Microsoft adding more value to a sub.
Yeah.
At least that's the perspective I take on it. That's just them finding more ways to add value to their sub. That doesn't mean you won't still get demos outside of that.
Yeah. Either way, console wars are really dumb.
Yeah, well.
So we're here. We've answered all the super chats. We're at the showcase itself.
Are we?
It's all dark. Yeah, we are. We're totally there. Yeah.
Okay.
Predictions time. Here we go. Let's talk a little bit about the showcase.
So are we going to discuss any of the stuff that's been talked about, or
well?
Because I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat bringing up a lot of stuff.
Let's talk about openly, right? We're not going to talk about anything. We can talk about things that have apparently leaked. We can talk about things like GoldenEye. We can talk about our hopes and dreams. But the real truth is, to my knowledge, not even, you know, as we said at the beginning of the show, the full show was known last year, like a couple of days in advance. That has not happened this year.
Yes.
And no one knows the full show. So I think it's a fair thing to say we can talk about some of the proposed leaks that have happened. If you are watching right now and you're like, I don't want to know even if something might be a thing, then, you know, feel free to tune out and come back in later. I'm not going to blame you if you do. But I think it's fair for us and for most fans. Let's just talk about the whole thing. But before we do that, 416 of you watching. You're all lovely. But please smash that like button because I'm only seeing 164 likes. What's going on? The maths doesn't work. It's one button. You've got a thumb or a mouse. Click either one over the thumbs up button and press it, please. And if you haven't subscribed, maybe click that one too. And then maybe click the notification bell if you really, really want to. But I'm not a stickler for pressuring people into doing things. But yeah, okay. Miles.
Yo.
We zoom in on the studio. The countdown comes on. What do they open the show with?
So I've been thinking about this quite a bit, actually, because how you start the show is incredibly important. So here's kind of what I've decided could potentially happen here. Redfall gameplay starts the show. Something fresh, something Bethesda focused. After that, Todd Howard walks out, talks about why he's excited about Redfall, why the team is excited about Redfall. And then he starts talking about why you should be excited for Starfield. They're the first new Bethesda IP in all these years. Oh. And then we go straight into a big chunk. It's not going to be a 30-minute chunk, but let's say 5 to 8, 10 minutes, maybe max, of Starfield. And you start the show with stuff that is kind of a negative point of contention for people right now because you said people aren't playing those games this year and people are upset. People were looking forward to playing them and now they're not. And so if you start with that, you show gameplay and you show really damn good gameplay, people's woes, they'll be gone. They'll instantly fade away. And then you've gotten rid of any sort of negative conversation surrounding the show right out of the jump. And then you've also set the expectation this will be a gameplay focused show. From here on out, we have a bunch of other gameplay from Bethesda and first-party studios, and here's what's next. So I think Redfall, bring out Todd, into Starfield, and then bring out Phil. I think that is the play.
I think that's solid. I agree with you on Redfall, and the way you've just passionately laid that out, it kind of makes sense that you bounce into Starfield, you know. But that's not the only new game we're making. But I think definitely Redfall to start because it's high octane. Maybe people won't necessarily expect that. You get a bit of guns, a bit of action. You get to maybe show and put some of the naysayers that are like, oh, they're making Arcane make a multiplayer game. Damn you, Microsoft. Put all them to bed. Here's Arcane Immersive Sim. But hey, it's a co-op vampire shooter thing. And actually give us more than the CG trailer gave us. I think that's a really... I'm agreeing with you there. I don't know if they'll back straight into that. Starfield.
I think flip that.
What, so Starfield first? Wow. Straight out.
All right,
Todd's gonna talk it up though. That's what I was thinking first. I thought maybe they would start the show with Starfield, but then I was like, but then you don't have the Todd Howard getting you all excited, getting you all tingly before that reveal.
But maybe it's Todd that walks out instead of Phil.
Leather jacket, no shirt on underneath.
Comes straight out, and he's like, "Here's Starfield. You all know it's going to be here. Here's Starfield."
That's true. That's a good point. I could say either one. I've been going back and forth between Starfield first and then Redfall, but I think Starfield or Redfall 1-2 punch is the way to do the show.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid. Because you're right. Like, unless Todd Howard's there whispering his sweet lies into my ear with his leather jacket on, I'm not gonna, And equally, I would say there is less excitement, right? I think it's fair to say, and I'm not knocking Arcane, I'm not knocking Redfall. I haven't seen the game yet to not be excited. I like shooting bad things in the face with my friends, and Arcane make great games. So on paper, I'm interested already, but no one knows, Starfield, Skyrim in space. That's kind of the setup. But if you do it Starfield first, and then you're talking about what is in the public's eye, perhaps a less hyped quantity, whereas Miles's way round does kind of flow. I think we'll see.
We'll
have to score our predictions at the end of the show next week, tomorrow. Christ. Okay, so that's a good opening. Now, on the subject of all the other games and things that we can see, and I'm gonna lean into do you want to pin a community question and see if we can find something relevant here, Nick? No pressure. Just off the top of my head, if you want to scroll on the spot.
Oh God, there's so much here.
There is so much.
The very first one is... Oh, no, never mind. That actually doesn't count.
Yeah, okay. So I think HythamG's got a community question that relates to the show.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
What if tomorrow we see 2 Bethesda games like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo at the Xbox Bethesda Showcase? Unlikely, but it'd be surprising if that happens, and I'd like to see this. Microsoft and Kojima game, that is possible. The Overdose game that I saw somewhere from a video game news outlet about it. Man, this is like quite a sentence.
We need to talk about paragraphs. We need to talk about paragraphs.
Also, are going to see in this year a Microsoft and Nintendo partnership this year, although I don't know what it's going to take for that to happen. I will take your word that it's not Banjo Kazooie on Nintendo Switch Online, along with GoldenEye that you are not referring to, but it's going to be something between these two gaming giants like an xCloud or Game Pass on Switch and such.
You're only halfway done.
I know. One last thing.
Question.
An interesting
is this a question?
Game. Yeah. An interesting video game that has a JRPG along with a Breath of the Wild inspiration, like a game called Genshin Impact. Awesome game. Have you played it yet? If not, give it a try. You might like it.
I have. It's okay.
And what would it take for Genshin Impact to come to Xbox ecosystem? Although it is coming to Switch sooner or later, do you think that it could have a Fall Guys showcase treatment if it shows in the direct or not? Your take on that one? Wow.
Okay. Hytham, try and limit your question to one singular question. I appreciate the stream of consciousness, but have we played Genshin Impact? No. But not. Do we think that could be one of the Japanese games that's coming to?
No.
You don't think it's gonna? Because it's on PlayStation now, right?
Yes,
it's on PlayStation. Yep, and PC. Or iOS or something.
Mobile and PlayStation.
Yeah.
You don't think Papa Phil's been flying out to Japan, writing a few checks?
Well, they're creating that whole... What is that universe called? What is that publisher, developer? They're creating like a whole universe. Summer Game Fest had a few other games from that team as well.
Right. I can't remember the name, but you're
whatever
right.
the universe is
Korean.
Called.
My apologies, but it's a Korean game. They're doing pretty well in Korea. They've got xCloud over there.
That game's huge. Genshin Impact. I haven't played it.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's got a bunch of gacha mechanics.
It's pretty basic.
But yeah, it's Breath of the Wild, action anime, collect characters, explore this world. I get why it's popular. Again, Xbox has missed a lot of popular games in recent years. A lot of them, back to back, and it's unfortunate. So I think it would be a cool get for a lot of people because that game still, like when we look at traffic for our websites, Genshin Impact still ranks really high. So there's still a huge number of people playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got it wrong, Nick. Nick, sorry, you got it wrong, John. It's actually a Chinese developer.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the chat.
Chat lied to you. Yeah. Don't ever trust the chat.
I'm never trusting the chat again.
Boom is in the chat. Hi, Boom.
Hey, Boom.
Boom is there. Hello, John, Nick, and Miles.
I briefly saw Boom, and then it was my time to bail out. So, but love you, Boom.
Yep.
All love to the Boom.
As to the other stuff, yes, apparently. So, Overdose, Kojima's game, apparently got kind of leaked, sort of.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
what's your take
we
on
touched
this?
on that now? Or
Yeah, let's touch on it now.
Well, I mean, it was in the
Hytham brought it
question.
up.
So, there had been rumors floating around for a long, long time that Kojima had a game with Xbox, cloud-focused, cloud-based, and then we've seen this leak of Overdose, which is apparently a cloud. Again, there's been so much stuff floating around, so I'm trying to remember it all. Apparently, Overdose is that game, I think.
that's what it's seeming like.
Yeah.
We can. I mean,
I don't know.
if you look at Jeff Keighley and Kojima's relationship, we had that weird conversation last year where basically Jeff got Kojima on a video call. I was like, "Hey, what's up, buddy? What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm working on a new game." He's like, "You gonna show it?" Nope, can't show it yet. Too early. And then that was it. That was their conversation, and they moved on. And then we had Summer Game Fest Live this year, and no Kojima at all at Summer Game Fest Live.
That's
I
right.
have a hard time believing Kojima's skipping the entire season. He's been on Twitter a lot, showing pictures of himself sitting in a director's chair. Like he's got something he's working on. And again, there was the Overdose leak.
Yes.
Which again, when we talk about the rumors that have been around for a little bit regarding the Stadia, it was a Stadia horror project, cloud-based, cloud-focused. Kim Swift of Stadia is now at Xbox, leading the cloud publishing division. There's Jeff Grubb's reported on this multiple times, very recently as well. So trust Jeff's information there. All of this starts to paint this picture of a world where we do see Kojima at an Xbox showcase, and we do see Kojima revealing this fabled ever since PT. People want the Kojima horror game so bad.
Yeah,
so
that's all I've said it a million times. If Kojima really is doing a game with Xbox, I only care if it's a horror game.
And
that's
if this
the only way I care. If
this happens to be Xbox somehow happens to get the Kojima horror game as an exclusive, man, that is going to be such
huge.
What I wanted this season, I wanted him to come out and announce Death Stranding 2 and say, boom, PlayStation exclusive. And then I wanted him to come out and say, Overdosed, Xbox exclusive in the same season, just to have, and then maybe we live in this world where Kojima single-handedly ends the console wars.
Everyone just comes together.
I mean, Overdose is quite clearly real because that insider,
Tom Henderson, basically he leaked it, and then Kojima's PR team reached out to him and
emailed him,
take this down, and he was like, no. So
clearly Overdose is real. So that begs the question then, because now the speculation is it Xbox exclusive or is it multiplat? So here's my theory on that. If it was multiplat, this is just speculation now. I don't know anything, and trust me, I've been trying to find out. If it was multiplat, my guess is that Jeff would have got the reveal. If it was multiplat.
Yeah, that's my gut feeling as well.
If Jeff didn't get the reveal, and Xbox has the reveal, then my guess is it's Xbox exclusive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had said a while ago, and I've been getting crap about it on Twitter for the last, must be 6 to 9 months. I had said a while back that Sony said no to his new game idea that he wanted, to his next game.
No, you said Jim Ryan because you were speaking and anecdotally, and everyone was like, like Nick knows what Jim Ryan's saying.
Yeah. Now, obviously, Death Stranding 2, that's different. Sony owns that IP. That's going to always be a separate thing. That wasn't his new game. That wasn't his next game, Death Stranding 2. It was whatever this is, whatever Overdose is. And I'm assuming that maybe, I guess, Sony heard the pitch and heard Cloud and was like, yeah, no thanks.
Well,
but
it's interesting.
Stadia might have been like, well, hold on, Cloud.
That's
Cloud
what we do.
Just us.
That's all right.
Yeah, Cloud is us. And then for whatever reason, they passed on it. I don't know.
It's interesting because on our forums, an interesting thread has cropped up, and I've plonked the link in, and hopefully Jesse can pull some buttons here and maybe make this appear on screen. But the conspiracy theorists are running wild here. They've said, I think Overdose, this is the title of the forum thread on the XboxEra forums, I think Overdose is a Silent Hill Xbox game. And they were looking at the O in the logo for Overdose, and they were looking at the the O's.
It doesn't have to be like
safeguards.
this. Please let the Kojima Silent Hill thing go.
I hope Jesse's showing the thread. Yes, he is. Great.
Yes,
so
he
as he
is.
goes down, he starts showing the tweets and saying, "Oh, but look, then there's this lighthouse thing, and then there's the lighthouse of the Silent Hills game, and then there's King
don't
Swift,
do
and then
that.
there's some pictures of clouds, and then
Don't do
and then
that.
who's Hideo Kojima following on Twitter? Oh, he's only following Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg." Da, 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 da.
No, don't do that.
Okay. All right. While we have our tinfoil hats on, while we're on this, just descent into pure madness. There's been
This is how Abandon started.
This
Can
is
we not
how-
do that?
This particular image has been kind of the point of a lot of focus, and it's Kojima's director's chair, and there's a clock. There's a very focused clock on the wall, and it says 10:19. So hear me out. Again, tinfoil hats
Okay,
strapped
tinfoil hats on.
firmly. We talked about this a little bit on Xbox Chatter Days earlier. What if they reveal Overdosed as the Xbox cloud horror game, and then what if they reveal a playable teaser for October 19th?
Oh, PT
Again,
style.
Big, or
That'd be so good.
the release date's 10/19/2022. Imagine if that world. Again, I don't have any info that this would ever happen. I really don't think
that'd
it would.
be cool.
But
That would be cool.
if they can do that, if they can surprise, announce, and then a few months later release a Kojima horror game,
Project Moorcroft coming in.
they're talking
Project
about
Moorcroft.
Moorcroft. We're
The
getting
conspiracy
somewhere.
theory's real.
Again. This is just pure conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat time. But
I like those theories when they make
Oh.
sense. They're fun. When a conspiracy theory makes sense, I am all in for it. It's when they don't make sense, like Abandoned. That's when I'm just like, people, please stop. People, please stop this stuff. I've said 100 times. The only way I care about a Kojima game on Xbox is if it's horror, because PT was incredible. PT was just so damn good. So if that's what Overdose is, it'll be really, really cool, I think. But again, that's all speculation, because it's obviously real. They're not emailing Tom Henderson to say take it down if it's not real.
Yeah.
And so again, the fact that Jeff didn't get it, his bestie didn't get it, would lead me to believe it's
and
the
the
Xbox
fact
game.
that if you read the report, and again, this is if you don't want something spoiled, pause for a couple seconds or mute for a couple seconds. But the details in the report from Tom Henderson sound like someone saw a trailer. He saw a trailer.
Yeah.
They saw a trailer. Some sort of trailer exists because they're detailing mechanics. They're detailing gameplay. They're detailing
Tom saw it.
camera
saw it.
perspectives. So if there is a trailer floating around right before not E3 season, then that's interesting. That is very interesting to me.
I don't know if Tom's watching or he's in our chat right now. Sometimes he watches, but yeah, Tom saw that
Sometimes
video.
it does. But yeah, so okay, look, we're well into. We've already hit conspiracy theory land, but then there's still a whole showcase to go. So on that subject of what other games, Overdose could be an exclusive. One of the quotes from the press event with Microsoft and the news dump on Thursday, Microsoft talked a little bit about planning to release at least five exclusive first party, don't know, but 5 exclusive games in this fiscal year, which runs up till June 2023. Now we can take off 2 of those, Starfield and Redfall. What are the other 3?
Okay, so for fiscal year, the other 3
up till you've got till June 2023. What are the other 3 games that are coming?
Can I stop you for 2 seconds?
Of course you can.
My man Jeff is in the chat and he said a few hours ago Tom said they won't show the game tomorrow, but they will announce it. That's right.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
that's all they need to do. They don't need to show it.
Yeah.
They just
yeah.
need a splash screen that says a Hideo Kojima game and the Xbox logo.
Exclusive to Xbox.
And that's it. And they're set.
Huge.
They have
Huge.
the conversation. They have for months. It's in fact better that they don't show it probably the first time, because then you have the ravenous Again, we've seen the Silent Hill conspiracies. It's out of control.
It's gonna be
That community
ridiculous.
is the most ridiculous online community that exists. I mean, I'm part of it.
Yep.
So I know.
You're right
I
there,
fully
leading the
understand
charge.
the depth and the depravity of that community. But that would be all they need. as just a little
Yeah.
taste. Just give them a taste.
Lovely.
So
Lovely.
the
Thank you, Jeff
other
Grubb.
3 games.
Okay, so I think
hope
Forza
Deathloop and
Motorsport-
Ghostwire don't count.
not before fiscal, right?
No. Well,
Okay.
one thing to mention, they might come out, but I don't think we'll see them because I think contractually the year isn't up of exclusivity,
I
so they
agree. I
can't
don't think
talk
we'll-
about them yet on their
Yeah,
stage, which is bonkers, but it's the way the world works.
So game number 3 then will be Forza Motorsport.
So we have
That's number
Redfall,
3.
we have Starfield, we have Forza Motorsport.
Forza Motorsport.
I say
What else?
Obsidian. Something from Obsidian is in the mix. I don't know that it'll be Avowed. I know that's the one people are out there on the streets banging the drum.
Campaigning.
2022, baby. No. I don't think so. I really, really don't think so.
So Pentiment, which is Josh Sawyer's led project.
Maybe
You
we'll see
reckon that's
that.
gonna be...
I think Obsidian will fill one of the gaps. I don't know if we want to count a Grounded 1.0, but I think that's technically
Yeah, I was
supposed
thinking
to
that
come
too.
out in
Would they count that?
2022.
Yeah, I'm not counting Grounded as a first.
Wow.
Yeah, but
dude.
Microsoft
Wow.
might.
It's already
But
out. I've
Microsoft
already
might.
played a lot. Yeah,
Microsoft
they might.
Yeah. They counted
That's a
Flight Sim
cop-out.
re-release though. Come on, they technically.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So-
They might count Grounded.
Check.
But again,
Check.
we're saying 5, but they said at least 5.
They wanted to meet or exceed, so it could
Yeah,
be more.
So it could be 6, could be 7,
Okay.
could be 8.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that.
Depends where projects are. That's the problem. The reason they have to say things to cover themselves because stuff gets delayed. Look at Starfield and Redfall. Like they this is the problem. Stuff changes too much. Stuff gets delayed. Darkwing Duck. You can't. There's just too much. There's too much they can't control. So. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Is it only first party they're talking about, or is it any exclusive?
Well,
Yeah, and
if
the
it's any,
partnership
we've got
projects,
you've
right?
got
Those
Scorn, you've got As Dusk Falls,
As Dusk Falls.
Warhammer
Stalker
Darktide, the most important one.
yeah, Stalker 2. I don't think we're going to see anything because of the war in Ukraine, so I think that's out for 2022.
Atomic Heart's multiplat, right?
What one?
Atomic Heart,
Timed exclusive, I think.
is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's Game Pass release as
'Cause
well.
that's a Game Pass release, and that's coming. What was there? They had an image that just had Burr, like a bunch of the letters blurred
Yeah,
out,
it
but
was
just Burr.
stars.
Sometime Burr in 2022.
I love it as well because their trailer was like 2, 3. I was like, yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, but do we count those? And I think that's the thing is Microsoft's message tomorrow for the fan base is, hey, yeah, video game delays suck, but here's a real reason. Here's all the reasons to be excited for 2022, and primarily that's going to be driven by the amount of stuff we get to play on Game Pass.
I think what they count are first party and publishing projects.
Yeah.
I think those are what they're counting here. I don't think they're counting the stuff like Scorn and Atomic Heart that might be timed exclusives. I think they are counting either first party stuff or stuff that was published. So I think those are the targets when they say 5 or more in fiscal year.
Now, I think Stoic Studios' Project Belfry is one that I think will be on the cards for this year, which I believe, keep me honest here, gentlemen, is rumored to be this. It's not Castle Crashers, but it is a 4-player kind of have fun type
Beat 'em up,
game.
side scrolling.
Yeah, that might land. That's going to be I think a first party or global publishing title.
Yeah.
And we might see that, and hey, it's launching in September as an example. But
Age of Empires coming to console, they would likely count that.
they would definitely count that.
Yes, they would count that. Well, there you go. So
definitely count
that's what I mean.
We're
Like,
getting like we got 10. We got Xbox has released 15 games next fiscal year, right? Right, gamers?
Madness. Yeah. Well, when we had Phil on the show and we talked about, honestly, there's too many games. He was like, no, there's not too many
never have
games.
too
We
many
need
games.
more games.
More.
So
Ultimately, they're going to want one a month. Like they're
Yeah.
running a subscription service. They're running a subscription service. They're trying to keep people engaged with. So ultimately, I think their end goal is going to be one a month. One standout per month. Again, how they get to that cadence, Activision Blizzard, good part of that equation. And then once that deal closes, maybe they start targeting some other teams as well. But yeah, I think a quarter is kind of what they've been shooting for. They haven't hit it, so they have to reiterate that is the goal. And then once they hit that goal, they can start looking beyond that.
Yeah, I reckon it would be a AAA every quarter, but then every month you'll have a really nice chunky indie variety in there as well. All right, okay. So let's.
Can I go with another community question?
Yes, you can.
Because it relates. While we have it, we may as well do it.
Yeah, please.
DeoGame's community question. Interesting thought. Having watched the SGF show, it dawned on me just how difficult it can be to spin multiple plates like this. 15 minutes of The Last of Us, as someone who is not fond of that series, was agonizing. Might as well have been 40. I suspect the same for the Modern Warfare 2 demo for those not fans of COD. However, obviously Xbox is growing significantly. Knock on wood, come E3 next year, Xbox should either be close to being Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, King, and ID and marketing deals. How do you suggest they thread the needle so that, for instance, a Blizzard diehard fan who doesn't care for Halo isn't falling asleep in his chair, or the Bethesda fan who couldn't give a rat's ass about COD, Crash, and Halo isn't tuning out, desperately waiting for Doom footage? Obviously, as a merged brand, it's within Microsoft's best interest to merge shows, but the more diverse communities you add to the show, the more people can be bored or otherwise dissatisfied. Personally, I would probably book a day off for the show and merge like-minded events for 2 shows. One in the afternoon, one in the evening. This could be the Xbox Game Studios ID, Activision Third Party, and Xbox Game Studios RPG Studios, Bethesda, Blizzard, for instance. Or multiplayer games in the morning, single-player games in the evening. Similarly, can they spread the wealth throughout the week or months before, after E3, and save E3 for a more rapid-fire trailer event? What do you think? Jesus Christ.
Okay. First and foremost, Xbox needs to get away from just doing one show. If they're going to have, they can't have the Xbox and Bethesda and Activision and Blizzard and King showcase. They can't. It's it's dumb. That would be such a gauntlet of stuff. Like, what was it? The Game Awards? It was 3 or 4 hours. Was that last year? No, my God, no one should ever have a 4-hour showcase for anything. I don't care what it is. At a certain point, you get fatigue. At a certain point, no matter how great a game looks, you just don't care. That's too much. They really need to spread it out. And if they want to have one big showcase for the summer, cool, you can still do that. But please spread it out for everyone's sake. Please.
Yes. 100%. And don't forget, this is something that people seem to be glossing over. The show that we have on Sunday/Monday, depending on your time zone, that's just show 1. There's the extended showcase, which is, I think, like another 90 minutes or whatever it is. That's going to have stuff that wasn't in the first one. So that's already one way that stuff can be spread out.
I'm sorry. Okay? I didn't notice. Apologies for interrupting. But I didn't notice that Jesse, when he puts the titles up, when we were describing Project Morecroft and deliberately didn't say Morecock, Jesse put the title as Project Morecock anyway, and Creaky Legs has gifted it, and it's on Twitter, and I just saw it and I just died.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, they've got the second showcase. So there's going to be stuff potentially at the second one that's not at the first one. So, there's a lot of rumors right now. There's a lot of leaks right now, or supposed leaks. This isn't going to be at the show. This isn't going to be... But it could be at the second one. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's stuff that could be at that second show that's not at the first.
I think the template for the second show is going to be similar to what we saw last year. They did say there will be some new things, but I don't think it's going to be huge new game reveals there.
Probably not.
Yeah. But still 90 minutes. I mean, I think what would be cool and what I hope to see is a better sense of pacing for Showcase 1 with smaller bits of gameplay trailers and then deeper dives for a lot of the stuff they've shown.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, here was like 3 minutes of this game. Boom, here's 10 more. And stuff like that to really for the people who want it, because there are people who don't necessarily want to sit through, like he was saying, 20 minutes of something, of one thing. Because if 100%. That thing is not for you, then like they said, you're checked out. So pacing is important, but it's still nice for the people who want it to have that deeper dive. The infamous trebuchets. Not for everyone, but I bet there's a couple people out there just amped up, dude. Amped to 11.
Yeah. Man, I think as well, if we can get to a point where we've got, the summer showcase, you've got XO whatever when they're back on. Maybe this year we'll see XO22 announced, and and they move them around country to country, and then we have maybe some styles like I get state of play isn't always for everyone, but if they can get to a cadence where they chuck a half-hour purely digital event, they highlight some cool indies, they show off a new release, and they do that every quarter or so.
We're golden, baby.
I think that's a great way to be. We need to get away from, inside Xbox, a lot of people complained about it, but the real truth of it is, as Nick has said many, many times, it's not a problem with the format. People talking about games or showing off features and some trailers here and there is fine. But when you've got nothing to show and you drag it out for 45 minutes, you're gonna get some criticism. If the content is there, hell, I don't care if they bring back inside Xbox and do it in that very, no offense, Miles, American way.
Wow.
It's true. All right, the horrible back and forth morning show banter between.
Come on, John. What are you talking about, dude?
You know what I mean. That kind of stuff.
Dead jokes.
Yeah. But if we can get, even if it's just without presenters and it's just someone voiceover and here's a first look at blah. Great. But I think 2023 is where we're going to see that Microsoft finally gear up and take charge. It's going to be good.
Jack has an interesting community question.
Has he? Go on.
Yep.
While we're on some community questions.
Yeah, let's get through some of them. Not Jack has an interesting one. How many people will be wearing leather jackets during the Xbox showcase?
Only one person can wear leather.
3.
In the showcase.
Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Todd Howard. Triple threat.
I
3 different tones. Solid black, tan, and gray.
Leather jackets.
Insider confirmed.
Never go out of style. I got a lot of crap for my leather jacket photo at my 40th birthday that gets used on XboxEra. Leather jackets never go out of style. Did you see what my friend Johnny Galvatron was wearing at that Artful Escape BAFTA party I went to? What was Johnny wearing? What was
leather
Johnny
jacket.
wearing?
I used to
leather
have
jacket.
A leather jacket like that. I inherited my father's 1970s big collar brown leather, and I've still got it in my wardrobe. And it's still, as far as I'm concerned, it's still a classic. I can still
leather
pull it
jackets. Off. Black leather jackets, never.
What about assless chaps? Are those still on style?
Maybe not.
I will endeavour to bring back assless chaps. I'll do my best. But black leather jackets never go out. And that's why you will always see me wearing my black leather jacket when I go out. Especially in Melbourne. As Salva says in the chat, black is Melbourne's colour. That is the colour Melbourne is known for, mate. So I'm always going to be wearing black leather jackets. Like... It's our thing because our weather is generally like cold and miserable. That's our fashion attire color, black. All black.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It works for every occasion.
Yeah, I got 4 pairs of black jeans, 10 black V-necks.
Yeah,
done.
Black jeans,
sold.
Black t-shirts.
Earlier on in the show, we talked a little bit about Forza Motorsport. There's been some scuttlebutt out there that it's probably a 2023 game, right? And we were talking through what could Microsoft's 5 exclusives be. One of the other things that kind of was unfortunately revealed by Steam, not the Microsoft Store this time, because they've code worded all of the things that they're uploading with a load of gobbledygook to really they're paying attention this year. Was the expansion for Forza Horizon 5, which looks to be, apologies, mute, pull the headphone out, looks to be, again, in the world of Hot Wheels. Now, I'm cool with this. With Forza Horizon 5's track building stuff, I'm sure there'll be lots of extra fun to be had there, and that's probably why they've revisited partnering with that IP. But do you think, in terms of showcase, we're going to get the touch on Forza Horizon 5 and then swiftly move into some gameplay for Forza Motorsport
that would make
itself?
Sense. That would make sense.
Sounds about right to me. But I'm curious. This is a reboot for Forza Motorsport. So, do you think we're going to get all the buzzwords, ray tracing, and all the fun stuff, full fat 4K?
I think they'll do it like they did last year. So they'll show something of Forza Motorsport, and then the extended showcase will have that deeper dive, just like Horizon 5 got last year. That's my assumption / guess, is they'll do it the same way, but with Motorsport.
Okay.
Probably.
Now, final guess on Forza Motorsport. Now, they've been testing, and we've heard the scuttlebutt. They've definitely been testing across Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. Do we feel that the testing was just from a population technology point of view and that is not going to release on old gen hardware? Or do we feel that they are just 100% next gen?
I think next gen only. I think they were just testing on Xbox One or getting a version running on Xbox One to help with testing, probably.
Yeah, they're probably just seeing what they could do and see. Because again, they've been spending a lot of time and there's no rush to get this out. And that's why, people are talking about the possibility of this coming next year. And I think that's a realistic possibility because again, this is about setting the new foundation, building a new engine of Forza that they're going to use for the next few titles. So it needs to be a showcase and that's what they want it to be. And I was wondering if they were just trying to figure out if they could make an Xbox One version still a showcase, or if they just finally realized that if we want this to be the future of Forza, we got to look to the future of hardware.
Yeah.
Good answers. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've covered a few of the exclusives, a few of the other bits and pieces. Let's talk a little bit about. Let's make some crazy predictions. Let's not go full crazy, but realistic predictions. So we'll go with you first, Miles. Going to put you on the spot a little bit here. We know lots and lots of things that we know they're working on. What games do you think they might show that you would be surprised to see? So you've got a hell of a list to pick from here. There's lots of project names. There's lots of partners. There's Perfect Dark. There's Fable. What are you hoping to see? What do you think they might show? What do you think is definitely not going to happen?
I don't think there's a few that I don't think we're going to see. I think Fable and Perfect Dark are two of them, and I also think Hellblade 2 isn't one we'll see here because we saw Hellblade 2 pretty recently. We've already seen gameplay. People are excited about that. No reason to show that again unless you're putting a release date out. Game Awards, however, I think could potentially be where we see the actual release date, the firm release date. I imagine they're targeting next holiday. I imagine they want that to be their big holiday game for 2023. So I don't think we'll see those three things there. One that I hope we see, and I think there's a possibility we see, is Compulsion's new project. Compulsion
Project Midnight.
Of all of Xbox Game Studios, they've been the quietest for the longest. We have officially we have no idea what they're working on. Obviously, Jez from Windows Central has leaked some stuff, but officially, radio silence since We Happy Few. And We Happy Few love the world, love the atmosphere.
Great story building.
I want to see what this means, what these investments into Xbox Game Studios mean for the future of these games. We've seen it with Hellblade. We've seen it with Ninja Theory. I want to see what it means for Compulsion, because Compulsion showed promise, but objectively there were a lot of issues with We Happy Few that were hard to ignore. And it wasn't a phenomenal experience overall. Still loved the world, still loved it. So I want to see their next game. And I want it to be that moment where we go, oh, damn, this is what Xbox, quote unquote, can do for these teams. Because that's why we're supposed to be excited about Xbox Game Studios, is because it means they'll be able to make better games. And I want to see that come to light. And I want that to be the case. Because at the end of the day, I'm always championing these teams who have potential, who get in these situations where they have, quote unquote, unlimited Microsoft resources. And I want that to mean the games are going to be really, really good. So Compulsion, that's the one I really, really hope we see this year.
Yeah. I think that's it's interesting, actually, because what do we know? Project Midnight, third person, weird. I think that's the only things we've got out of it, really, is the gist. And we do know that they recently updated their website and they put a little timeline of what they're doing and how their studio's grown, but still zero clues officially on what it is, what it's going to look like. No art style hints, nothing. So yeah, super intriguing.
Give me a taste, just a taste. All right, just a taste.
What about you, Nick? Well, you look across that smorgasbord of project titles and things that have already been announced. What are you thinking?
I want Roundhouse's game to be revealed.
Ooh.
I want to know what that game... I want to know if the rumor is true. I want to know if the rumor is true that I've been told about. Because if it is... I mean, Scalzi came out and said that he's heard that they're working on a Marvel IP.
Interesting.
I had heard similar. So I want to know if that's real. I want to know if... again... I'm not going to say what I've been told about the IP. I just want to know that that's real, and I'd like that to be revealed. So that's the one for me, Roundhouse. Just to know what the hell they're doing, because like Compulsion, because I've mentioned Compulsion many times on this show as well. I've said the same as you, Miles. I've said, what the hell are they working on? No one seems to know what the hell they're working on. Same with Roundhouse. They're pretty much the only Bethesda studio that no one knows what the hell they're working on. Again, there's rumored stuff, and I've heard those rumors too. But I'm not. The reason I've always just said, I've always shied away from what I've been told about Roundhouse because it was never very concrete. Skullsy coming out and saying what he said is the first time anyone else outside of my source has mentioned it. So that's what gives me a little bit more hope.
Teases you into believing it.
Yeah, that's the only reason I've got a little bit more hope. Because if he's heard it from a different source and I've heard it from mine, that gives it a little bit more weight.
Yeah.
A little bit more weight.
Just a teensy bit.
So that's the one I'd like. I'd like to see what Roundhouse is doing.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's the one for me.
I think, there are so many things. Completely selfishly, there are two projects that we know exist that or three really, that I desperately want to see. But yeah, I don't think any of them are going to be there, which would be Fable, Perfect Dark, or Machine Games with Indiana Jones. Like, I just want the lights to go out and just to hear.
Well, Machine Games did tweet.
Yes, I know, and that got me all excited, and I was full of hope again. I
doubt that's going to be Wolf 3, because we know they're working on Indiana Jones. So it would make sense that if Machine Games are going to be there, it's for Indiana Jones.
I would love even if it's just like here's a taster of what we're gunning for. You know, maybe not gameplay, maybe like target or in-engine something.
Bring out Harrison Ford to announce that he's reprising his role as Indiana
Zimmer frame.
Sure, that movie comes out next year. Surely you do everything in your power to have that game out next year.
Yeah,
surely.
I would love it if they, because. This is an interesting prediction, actually. Prediction tangent alert. If they were to do Indiana Jones, and I'd love it if they actually managed to persuade Harrison Ford to actually voice the character for their game. Yeah. But what celebrity appearance are we going to see this year? We've had Keanu Reeves. It was pretty cool. Can they top it?
The Rock?
Does Kojima count?
No, Kojima doesn't count. Oh, okay. Come on. We've had... No, The Rock ain't coming. He'll ring in from the gym.
I'm saying again. We've had The Rock. Oh,
okay. So any thoughts on which celebrity are we going to see?
Harrison Ford would be the perfect one. Like, if that happened, the internet would lose its mind. Outside,
and he's going to phone it in.
He's going to phone it in.
Vin Diesel for
Ark II.
Diesel for Ark
II. Yes.
That's it. That's the one. Sorry.
He'll talk about the development.
In fact, Vin Diesel is announcing that he's voicing Indiana Jones in the Indiana
Jones.
God. I'm Indiana Jones. It's my family now.
Kill me.
Here we go, baby.
Yeah,
back
Vin
to
Diesel.
back. Ark 2 and then straight into Indiana Jones with Vin
Ark
Diesel.
2, I would expect. Ark 2, I would expect to be there. Yeah. I mentioned Ark 2 on the show about a month or so ago, that Ark 2 is something that I've been told is still on track. So I would not be surprised to see Ark 2 there.
Yeah. Ark 2 should be there. They'll be contractually obligated to show some Ark 2, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
They've signed it as a Game Pass game.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not excited by it. I don't care about it, but okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's on them, isn't it, to make us interested in the game. So
That's true.
They don't have the luxury other hit games have of just being able to show that they're working on a sequel and get everyone excited.
Yeah.
So they have to sort of get the community interested in the game. I don't know if Vin Diesel's the way to do that, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's divisive.
We'll find
out. But yeah, okay. Do you want to hit another community question? I'll let you pick one at random.
Is there anything else that's to do with the show? There isn't anything to do with the show, so we can always go over them later.
Creaky Legs has got one. Part of the prediction one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, Creaky Legs. Hello, lads. I'd like to play a little prediction game with you. I will keep score and post your results on next week's podcast. 1 point for each correct answer. Simply answer yes or no, over or under. One.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're playing the game.
Will Pete Hines say here at Bethesda over or under 5 times? A close variation of that counts.
Under. Hang on, let's answer each one as we go. Under 5 times.
Over.
He'll say here at Bethesda.
Under.
Over.
I don't even know if Pete Hines will be there, but maybe.
Todd Howard will be in a leather jacket. Yes.
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 The new 007 game will also follow the GoldenEye reveal or vice versa.
Ooh,
No.
IOI's project.
I'm gonna say
That's
no.
too soon. That's too soon. Isn't it? It's got to be too soon. I mean, it would be perfect.
I'm going
sorry,
to
that's
say,
too perfect.
bugger it.
I'm
I'm going to
sorry.
say yes. I'm going to say yes.
Ooh.
Mad lad.
I'm going to say no. It's too soon.
No,
It's too
no,
soon.
no.
Will Game Pass be mentioned by a Japanese game developer? Yes.
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 Will Phil Spencer have over or under 5 minutes of stage time?
Ooh, total over. And I expect
Over.
it meticulously timed, Creaky Legs. I want to see video evidence of
Over.
stage time. Stage time counting as being on the stage.
I'm going to say
Forza
under.
Motorsport.
I'm going to say under.
Ooh,
Under?
I'm
Okay.
going to keep it tight, real tight, because they want to focus
enough.
on the gameplay, y'all.
Fair enough.
If I don't get my annual inspirational gaming brings us all together speech from Phil Spencer, I don't know how I'm going to sleep Sunday night.
But
Anyway.
what if we get that from like Satya?
Yeah. Okay.
We might get Satya making an appearance at one of the 2 shows saying, "Oh, gaming is amazing and Microsoft is all in on gaming and
Here's a segment about trebuchets.
yeah, and blah 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 blah." Like it. Do you know what I mean? Like it could be.
But that's not part of the bet.
No, it's not. That was just me saying because you're talking about gaming is for everyone and
That's true.
blah 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 blah. Okay. Forza Motorsport 8 will only have a trailer for the main show, but no on-stage presentation. Yes.
Yeah, only a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
just some sort
maybe
of
they'll
trailer
talk about the deeper dive at the other one.
Yeah, which is what we said earlier.
Yeah.
7, last one. Kojima will reveal himself without bringing even a CGI trailer.
Yes.
Without even a CGI. I don't know.
Nothing. Just
Kojima
I'm working
will
on a
reveal
game.
himself without bringing even.
Are they
going
to
to
do the Metroid Prime 4 thing, where it's just a logo? Is that?
That doesn't count as a trailer.
Or maybe it's just a video of Kojima in Japanese with English subtitles saying,
No,
you
I
know-
think we'll get something. I'll say we get a CGI something, even if it's 10 seconds. I'm counting.
I think we might just get a title card
We'll see.
and him just saying, "Here I'm pleased to reveal what I am working with Xbox," and then Overdose, bang, that's it.
Yeah, I'm not counting a title card, even an animated title card, as a CGI trailer.
No, that's right.
just
So I'm
for the
going to say without bringing a CGI trailer. So yes, because he will be on without a CGI trailer. So yes.
Look forward to seeing the scores next week.
You've
Okay.
gone very fuzzy, John. You need to fist your camera.
That's the weirdest sentence anyone said to me today.
It's not inaccurate, though.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so are we going to talk about, because the chat, I've been keeping an eye on the chat when I'm not looking at my phone or looking at the camera. Are we going to talk about the stuff that's been discussed? What Tom Henderson has talked about, Jez,
Little Tommy
Rand.
Little Tom
Because I'm getting a lot of stuff in the chat. I'm getting DMs about Gears Collection.
I mean, I've talked to Jez and Ray. The reality is, no one has the list. No one does. Not even Tom. Tom is talking about things that he knows are not going to be there. But
Okay.
I don't.
Well, let's talk about Gears Collection first.
Let's
I
talk
think
about the
that's-
Gears Collection. So, Jesse, I prepared a video with Jesse
Oh,
because I'm tired of
Is this
stuff
your
I
apology
say
video?
being I'm tired of stuff that I say being conflated and turned into other things that I didn't say. So, at first it became Gears Collections being announced at the showcase, which is not true at all. I never said that. Not once. That is something that people assumed. But since then, a few people think the Gears Collection's not a real thing.
That's
Now,
true.
as in
We've read it on
at
the
all.
internet.
Not just not at the showcase. Apparently not at all. So, for those that are worried about the Gears Collection, most of you should know me well enough to know that I don't back down. And I'm not going to back down on the Gears Collection. I have gone back and asked a couple of sources who are like, yep, Gears Collection's still a thing. So I'm not backing down on Gears Collection.
Ooh.
I'm going to hold my ground on that one. You all know me well enough to know that I don't back down.
You'll die on the hill.
I am of the Jean-Claude Van Damme era. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's first movie is No Retreat, No Surrender. So I will live by JCVD's motto. I will not retreat and I will not surrender.
All
Gears
right.
Collection's still a thing. If Jez and
You never called it the Marcus Phoenix collection.
No, I
either.
never gave it a name. I never get like so Jesse.
I think
the can we play the clip, Jesse,
community.
to see what was actually said?
Okay,
Okay,
we're going
go.
to play the clip.
Jesse's going to play the clip. Let's see what I actually said. Now, I'm annoyed I can't go into more detail, but I get why. So
No, it's
I've
not.
been told,
Oh, yes, it
the
is.
rumor I've heard, what I've been told is that there is another Microsoft franchise. I'm not allowed to say the franchise. There is another Microsoft franchise that will be getting like the Master Chief Collection treatment.
Oh,
Is probably the best way to describe it.
yeah.
That's now timelines. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's a thing that's going to be this year, next year, or whatever it is. Probably most likely, I would guess next year. But I don't know timelines right now.
There it is.
Just that there will be. So
Okay.
is the clip done?
Okay,
And your
I
editing's
think
terrible.
that was fairly cut and dry. Don't know if it's going to be this year.
I said, if anything, it's most likely next year. And the other
But you
thing
called it.
is that there's another assumption people are making. And that assumption is that the Coalition are doing it. I don't know if the Coalition are doing the Gears Collection. There's a chance that's being outsourced. So
Interesting.
that could be why certain people haven't heard about the Gears Collection.
Okay,
So-
there you go. You're on the hill, Jean-Claude Van Damme style.
Yes.
Flag is
and
planted.
Drakey Poo, I see you in the chat. I am aware that Van Damme was actually the bad guy in No Retreat, No Surrender. I am aware of that. I have seen that movie, but it's Van Damme's movie. That's why I said No Retreat,
You
No
have
Surrender.
had Bruce
because-
Lee's ghost speak to you and empower you so that you will not back down and you will
Yeah,
defeat
that's right.
Jean-Claude Van Damme, the Rusky.
That's right. What am I going to say? I'm not going to channel Kickboxer or Bloodsport or any of them. No Retreat, No Surrender is the title of the movie, so that's why I mentioned that. But I am aware that Jean-Claude is the bad guy in that film.
Okay.
But yes, so I never said that the Gears Collection was, or at the time I said a franchise was
That's true.
being given the Master Chief Collection. I did get in trouble for saying Gears later on, I will say. I did genuinely get in trouble for that, which I have had to patch over since then. But yes, I have asked, because I've seen a lot of speculation saying, oh, these people are saying that the Gears Collection's not real. I've gone back, not backing down.
There you go. No, I won't back down. Right.
Gonna stand my ground.
So, while Nick's frozen horribly, I am going to read the first community question here and queue up just another thing that's on the subject of dreams and fun and stuff like that. From Ash Cohen, who says, "Hi guys, love the podcast. Keep up the great work. Time for the question. Which dormant Microsoft IP would you like to see Xbox bring back? If you could pick any game to get a modern new reveal tomorrow, what would it be?" Now, we've seen Fable, we've seen Perfect Dark. They're back. They're coming back. What's the one that you want to see, Miles?
The one that I want to see, Phantom Dust. I don't know how many
did I
times
know you'd
have
say
to
that?
say it. I don't know how many times I have to scream it from the rooftops. But in case you all forgot, Phil Spencer came out on stage in 2014, was it? And he promised the world a Phantom Dust reboot. And he showed us a CG trailer for Phantom Dust. And then he just took it away. All right. And you know, Phil Spencer, we love him. Great guy.
He keeps his
outstanding.
promises.
Exactly. But yeah, I will not forget and I will not forgive I will not be silenced until Phantom Dust Reboot is revealed. Okay? That's just the hard reality. I've reached out to Cold Iron Studios. I've talked to the studio head and said, hey, you guys should do Phantom Dust Reboot. And he's like, I'm down. Tagged Xbox Game Studios Publishing. I was like, here you go. Developer lined up for you. All right? Don't tell me you don't have the budget. All right? Don't tell me you just spent $70 billion on Activision. All right? You throw me some scraps for Phantom Dust and get it done. Okay? I will never shut up about Phantom Dust. And who knows? I'll probably be screaming out Phantom Dust until I'm on my deathbed. But that, like Nick, I won't back down on this regard. Phantom Dust needs to come back. All right? I put
Was that StreamYard that went funny, or was that just me?
It was just you, bro.
Just you. Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. It's all resolved. Now we just dealt with the first question on the community questions to plug that gap, which is what dormant Microsoft IP would you like to see Xbox bring back with a modern reveal tomorrow out of nowhere? Nick.
Oh God.
Bear in mind, and I will allow this, you can include Activision Blizzard IPs, all right?
Can I? That helps.
I'll allow it. I know.
Well, that helps
I know what your
because
answer will be.
Yeah, like we're already getting Perfect Dark, which is what I would have wanted. I know, apparently, again, supposed to be getting Killer Instinct, so that's another one I would have wanted. So mine probably is an Activision Blizzard one.
Racing.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Racing. It probably would be Rock and Roll Racing. So
I knew it.
Because everything else I'm getting, I'm getting or allegedly getting, so that it doesn't leave much for me. Oh, actually, you know what? No. There is a Microsoft one.
Go on.
Viva Pinata.
Great shout. Yeah. Great shout. Yeah. Cloud support, multiplayer gardens.
Yep.
So
put it on everything.
Yep. Easy peasy. Great shout.
That's the one.
I would like to see the dream, and it's on the predictions video every year since XboxEra started. It will stay there, just like Phantom Dust for you, Miles. I want to see the really shiny, fluffy, go all out graphically, because it's just Banjo Kazooie, the remaster. Bring it back, make it the best, like go Ratchet and Clank on the graphical art style here. Make it ridiculously good to look at, but just it's just the first game remade from the ground up with all of the standard stuff, maybe a few tweaks, maybe some modernization, but just make it look like a CG playground of beauty and art and grasslands and all of that, just to reignite the love for the IP, because it's already proven that the love is still there with Smash and the reveal. Microsoft are going to be looking at that going, why haven't we made a game? Why aren't we making a game?
Well, didn't you see MVG?
Yes, I did. I did see MVG, which is, again, interesting. And I want to talk about a thing, which also leads to another community question, which I'll save you from scrolling, but someone put... Who was it? Where is it? I've got to find it. Someone put... I swear I just read, what are the chances of... What are the chances of John screwing up or saying something he shouldn't?
And saying something he's not supposed to.
Yeah, Austin. What's the over-under that John slips up and says a thing he's not supposed to? I want to say the thing. Can you say the thing now that...
Can you put that in the private chat, please,
yes,
so I know
will.
what the hell you're talking about?
Okay. I'm doing it right now.
I want to know what the hell you're talking about.
I'm doing it. Like...
In the private chat, I can't see it.
Okay, I'm typing still.
Yeah.
Typed it.
No, you cannot say that.
I'm not. Okay.
Nope.
There you go.
Nope.
Then the chances are, Austin, to answer your community question,
that is one of those things where the only people that will ever know that
will be us.
Are certain people, and
fair enough.
That's all there is to it.
Okay, cool. Move on.
MVG said that he keeps hearing about Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense though, right? They did the Smash partnership with Nintendo. Mark, you got to agree with this, right? They saw it break Twitter almost, right? Like they did with Minecraft. They saw this huge fan reaction. Surely someone in Microsoft HQ was like, "Huh, I wonder if we should make a game."
Yeah, look. I wouldn't be surprised if... Well, we did a prediction show in January, remember? We did our 2022. It wasn't E3. It was just a 2022 prediction show.
Yeah.
And I said that I think this is the year we will finally get the Banjo remake announced, like a Banjo remake announced. And my guess, if that's true, if that's the case, because I've seen a lot of chatter about that.
Yep.
If that's true, if a Banjo remake is true, my assumption would be that they're doing that Banjo remake with a view to doing a new Banjo game.
Yes.
So
it's
they do the remake.
Of fans
yes.
across the globe.
Do the remake, see how it goes. Does it sell well? Do the fans get excited? Does it increase Game Pass subs? How much chatter does it generate? Blah, 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 blah. If it hits all the metrics, because Microsoft's all about their data and their metrics.
Yep.
If it hits all the numbers they want, they go ahead and they go, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go Banjo 3. That's how I would guess that would go. So let's hope that MVG's right.
Yeah, and I trust MVG, right? You know, he is a developer.
He is.
Now, I did find it curious because a lot of developers have like an unwritten rule not to talk about other developers' projects, right? Even though they all kind of secretly know what they're working on. But he's heard it. Maybe he's heard it from a third person kind of perspective. You know,
developers don't like leaks. That's safe to say.
Yeah, it was risky.
No, they don't.
For the old MVGs.
They really, really don't. That's for sure.
Can I go through these super chats?
Yes, you can. I was about to say there's some super chats.
Okay. Georgie, you still backing with KI2 and indie exclusivity? Yep. No retreat, no surrender.
There you go.
Just
still
doubling
going
down.
with Killer Instinct, and I'm still going with Indiana Jones. And Jez has openly gone against me on the Indiana Jones exclusivity.
Interesting.
So let's see how that goes.
You know, as well,
who's taking the L?
I could go 3-0 on Jez.
Ooh, it's gonna be interesting. There's gonna be some L's passed around.
I could go 3-0. I'm already 1-0 on Starfield. Let's see if Indy and Gears Collection become 2 and 3. Let's just see about that.
Here's a question, just while we're on the subject, right, of all of these exclusivities and showing title cards for games a way out. There's a long time Microsoft fans, and this show in particular, we've talked about how the E3 of dreams, Sony's had theirs, right? You all know about it. It's part of history. But what did they actually do? They came on stage and they announced stuff that they was releasing 5 years later, or whatever.
Many years away. And a Kickstarter.
But they did it, and they broke records, and all the pundits went nuts, and the reaction streams, all of that jazz. Fine. Do you think they get it? Do you think they finally get it? And that this year, this show, you still don't think they get it? That they're going to go, yeah, we're going to show. But I'm asking because when we talk about things like a Banjo Kazooie remake, or we talk about announcing KI2, even though it might be early in development, but just saying to people, their fans, the people watching, we're doing all of the things. Bosh. Because if Sony can do it and people can wait 5 years or back a Kickstarter or whatever, why can't Microsoft? Do you think?
Can I say something potentially controversial?
Yes, you can. It's our show.
You know who I think gets it?
Who gets it?
Sarah.
Do you think Sarah
gets it?
Sarah gets it.
Do you see what Sarah's favorite video game is?
It was GoldenEye, funnily enough. Interesting.
Sarah gets it.
What about you, Miles, on
Sarah
that statement? Do you think Microsoft can get away with doing that this year?
Not this year. No. People are... You've been online. Yeah. People are tired of waiting. The Starfield and Redfall delay pushed a lot of Xbox fans over the edge. Past the edge. They are.
Well, that's
tired
what I mean.
of
Does
waiting.
this not make it up for it by
they
saying
already did that? I think they already with the Fable and a bunch of Perfect Dark. They already have all these games that we know are coming at some point, and now we need to have a show that says, okay, well, here's what the near-ish future looks like. We've shown you a glimpse of our distant future. They have to focus on the soonish because people are so annoyed about 2022 for exclusives. So annoyed. There's a ton of great third-party stuff. There's a ton of stuff to play, but when you look at first-party, man, people are vocally upset. Yeah. So if this showcase is another someday you'll play this game, that's not going to be enough for people. It's not.
Another 3 Phantom Dust CG trailers for you, Miles. Yeah, with different game labels attached to them. That's a good answer.
Alexander Dark 91 super chat. Yes, $5 to not backing down on Gears. Thank you, Alexander. Jeremy G, rock on, gents. Let's have ourselves a day tomorrow. God, it's going to be quite a day.
It is going to be a day.
Anthony Locante, or Locante. Respect Nick for keeping Gears collection faith.
There's a war out there, mate. Someone's going to win it.
I'm not backing down. You guys, you know me. Everyone knows me. I'm not going to back down.
Okay, hold on. We're going to make this interesting. You don't get to just say that a Gears collection is coming someday. You got to tell me what year it's coming now.
Hold on, coming or being announced?
Coming. What year is it
coming? I don't know about coming. I've got no idea. I said it's most likely next year.
Okay.
You saw from the clip I played, I expect it most likely next year. But the resistance, the resistance is coming in the form of it doesn't exist at all.
Yeah.
So the announce is what matters more than the release. Even if it releases in 2026, but it's announced in 2023, it still exists, doesn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So
that's fair.
The resistance is in the form of its existence, not in when it's releasing. So
Okay.
I'm happy to concede if it's not announced by next year. More than happy to concede if it's not announced by next year.
But he has the faith.
As in,
he's on the hill.
Sometime, at the latest, sometime in 2023. It's not
Interesting. Oh, Nick's having all sorts of problems this evening.
Lose Nick? Uh-oh.
Honestly. And he's planning to go to a house by the beach with Australians' internet. People, this is going to cause some problems for everybody. All right. Okay. I'm going to chuck in a random community question to take up the time while Nick resets himself again.
Let's do it.
Travis, what is up, Travis brother, Miles Don Perignon, and esteemed panel? I have an admission and a question. The admission: I was always just a play a game if you enjoy it and shut up about your damn progression guy when people would bitch about any game's progression not being rewarding enough to even get them to play it. Now, though, I am realizing that I clearly do get off of the endorphin hit of seeing my number move and getting little rewards for it. I finished Halo Season 1 pass before Christmas, played much less multiplayer after that, and then got back into it full on once Season 2 dropped. So much so that I'm already almost level 90 in that pass with like 5 months to go. My question: can you think of any way that 343 can pad the leveling and getting stuff experience within this current Season 2 pass without pissing off all the normal, more sane people who are the way they are, being as my crazy addicted ass is right now? Now, this is a good question. And Nick, I hope you kind of got the gist of it. On the subject of Halo, so one, can they pad the season pass? And two, do we think Halo is going to make any kind of appearance with their 10-year plan? It's out at the show. And we'll go to Miles first because he heard the question.
Maybe.
It's interesting. What's frustrating to me about Halo Infinite's progression, Battle Pass, games as a service thing is we already have Gears 5. We already have Sea of Thieves. You already have Microsoft first-party games that had that fumble period that we're trying to figured it out. And then Halo came out and just somehow ignored all of that.
Where's the learning?
Yeah, exactly. What did no one, not a single person from 343 pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Rare, tell us about your experience. We know you've had this journey. You've been on for a few years. Hey, Coalition, people were mad at Gears 5. People were mad at the progression of Gears 5. They were mad at the sense of reward in Gears 5. They corrected it over the course of a few years. And then again, Halo comes out. People are mad. And I'm just,
it feels like every games as a service does this.
Yeah. Like somebody, you have data. You're a data-driven company. I know you have the data on player habits, what they respond well to. I know this is 343's first foray into it and Halo's first foray into it. But that being said, you have examples that did you not look at Fortnite? Fortnite was out, like even not first party. Don't tell me you weren't looking at any other game that existed and then put out this system and then expect everyone to be like, this is good enough for a year. Give me 10 helmets over the course of a year, and that's enough content for me. Like that's where I'm less forgiving. Obviously, these things take time. It is what it is. There's plenty of other stuff to play, and there is stuff to fill your time. But it's just especially frustrating when you look at every other example of a games as a service game that launched, everyone was mad, and then 3 years later,
3
years later, it's in a good state, and it's like, is that just as every game? Is that every game now? Does it have to be that way?
I think it is. I think it's part of the run up to actually getting a game out and into the world. There is this huge. I think regardless of people talk about crunch, there's too much crunch. We didn't crunch at all. I think every game just about makes it over the finish line in some way, shape, or form. And I think in Halo's particular case, there were so many hiccups, so many new platforms to provide for, so much temp hiring, affecting, tools, whatever the case may be. But it is a tale that we hear over and over and over again. And they did come out, and talked about some of the unique things with the Battle Pass. And they've made some cool changes in that if you do one Battle Pass, you earn 1,000 credits, you can buy the next Battle Pass. And effectively, you only ever have to buy one, in theory, as long as you play. But, yeah, I can't disagree with any single point you raise. It is a thing. I've been playing less Halo because I know I've got 6 months to just... slowly make my way through this battle pass. Don't need to rush. I may as well keep some form of incentive there just for fun. But yeah, I don't think there is much they can do to pad it out. I don't think we will see much. But hey, what do we think? Do we think we'll see Halo at the show tomorrow? In some form?
The second show, I think.
The extended show.
That's where
that makes more sense.
We know we have several more months of season 2, so unless they have some cool crossover or cool new mode to reveal, I think they'll just announce updates at the second showcase.
Maybe.
So you don't.
They've actually been doing a fair amount of news drops the last.
Yeah, there's one coming. What, on Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah,
right?
they've got the drop pod coming, which has a lot of balancing stuff for.
Did they steal our name?
Right?
Yeah,
Yep.
It does make me laugh.
They stole the name from us that we stole from them.
Okay. We literally were like, what's a cool name for a small, short, Halo focus show? Let's call it Drop Pod. Came up with the logo. And then literally the same week, they were like, here's our new Drop Pod of information. We were like, hey, come on, guys. Come on.
They did actually have a second thing, which is that they announced they will be flighting co-op in July.
Yes.
For the August release. So
Yep.
Join the Halo Insider program.
Okay. So then they probably won't be at the show then. If that's the case.
We don't think we'll see what certain Affinity are rumored to be working on, which is the Battle Royale. I can't pronounce the word, so I'm just going to say the Battle Royale thing. Don't think we're going to get a little hint of it. Drop feet first into hell, November 2022. That's their... No? Okay.
Sadly.
So are we going to do like... our own, are we going to do, because the show's in not long, far away now, are we going to do our own short list of what we think is going to be there, what we expect to see?
I think we'll wrap this up. So we've got a few more community questions to sneak in there. I'm just having a look. I think we've done most of them. We've got 3 that we've kind of missed. So we can come in and group them around.
Did we do tops? Tops question?
Tops. No.
Hello, panel. Fable is unlikely to be shown this year. So can you all give your reasons as to why it will/should be shown? I need some shreds of hope. Well...
Okay, I'm going to give him some hope. I've got some hopium that you can chug on. All right, that's what this pipe is full of. Fable and Perfect Dark hopium. Here's my one thing that I can say that might mean that they'll be there, even though it's probably not going to be there. Here you go. Yeah. They were both shown, talked about 2 years ago. We got their reveal trailers 2+ years ago.
2019, right?
Yeah.
For Fable?
Yeah, and 2018 for Perfect Dark. Which was at the end of 2018.
No, Perfect Dark was after. Perfect Dark
was at the Game Awards, wasn't it?
The same year though, wasn't it? It was the same year.
It was 2019 or 2020 Game Awards.
Yeah. Perfect Dark came after the Fable reveal.
Okay. So either way, but Fable was an open secret since I want to say 2018.
Forever.
It was in development, playground staffing up, blah 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 blah. So either way, both have a couple of years of dev time under their belt. They've not been seen nor heard from for 2 years ish. Maybe just something. Maybe just there's your hope here. Maybe just something. Just because you can't just. What are you going to do? Last Guardian this shit? Come on. Just a little something for the fans. That's all I'll say.
Just a little something.
Okay.
Just a little taste. There's some hope.
Somnia's question. Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic weekend and pre-showcase day. I was thinking of all the great guests you've already had on the show, but was curious who now would each of your dream guests be for your respective show. I'd love if you could get someone like Brian Fargo to talk gaming and the early days of him making games. I love hearing stories and history stuff like when Ed was on. He's referring to Ed Freeze. Here's to an amazing show tomorrow and GoldenEye.
I would pick
Dream
Tim Schafer.
guest.
Tim Schafer.
Oh
Easily.
yeah, Tim Schafer.
I would talk about all of the old stuff, like working with Ron Gilbert, Monkey Island, and his history in games. He strikes me as quite funny. You know, his relationship with Jack Black, who is another person I'd love to chat to because he's also very funny. But yeah, Tim Schafer, hands down.
Peter Moore.
Great shout.
Oh, yeah, Peter Moore would be a great one.
Peter Moore.
For me, it'd be Phil Spencer. Haven't had a chance to get him in the hot seat. Xbox to give me a full 2 hours with Phil.
Yeah, 2 hours.
All right, get him in the hot seat. Let's get down and dirty. Let's figure out what's going on with Phantom Dust. All right, Xbox PR, if you're listening, give me a call. Let's do this. Let's like this.
Brilliant.
No, I want Peter Moore. I'd love to talk about the Sega days, and you know, as a Manchester United supporter, maybe I'll give him. Not that I can give him much crap at the moment because Manchester United aren't great compared to Liverpool. But yeah, I'd love to get him on. I'd love to get Peter Moore. He'd be great.
Okay. Do you want to stick
question.
in? Yeah. Do you want to do good old Collingwood?
Good old Collingwood. Hello, John, Nick, Jesse, and welcome, Miles. A question that's not about the Xbox Game Showcase, Summerfest, or the other company conferences going on this weekend and into next week. So, Diablo Immortal was released this week, and social media went into meltdown when commentators discussed the horrifying costs of upgrading a character to the maximum. The game was quickly tainted with the accusation of the developers' greed and profiteering. Isn't that mobile games? So, is it possible to develop an online free-to-play game with fair microtransactions? Can a fair pay-to-win model be created that doesn't just favour those with deep pockets? Are there any games out there that fits this model? Good old Collingwood. By the way, Miles, I don't like horror games because they are scary and I don't like to be scared. I think John thinks the same way, so no more scary games. How about that?
Yeah, that's okay. That's
I'm
fair. Cowards. What?
I've been playing Diablo Immortal, and to me, it just seems fine. Like
it's entirely the end game. It's all about the end game.
Seems like it's the end game is where
so if you really want to push them. Yeah, PvP and pushing like top ranked on Rift runs and stuff. So if you want to be the best of the best and it's a mobile game, you got to pay.
You got to pay up
to keep up.
I think what this person is asking is literally $1 billion question, because that is what everyone wants to figure out. Is Diablo Immortal praised for its production value, praised because it felt like a true Diablo experience in a lot of ways. And I've played it. It feels like Diablo 3 on a phone. Like a lot of it is really solid, really tight, actually surprisingly decent storytelling, decent production of boss fights. But that being said, yeah, it's a free-to-play game. And at a certain point, they do need to make money on it. They need to at least recoup the cost of development and ideally make money. But how do you do that without the paywall, the time savers, the hard walls, the stamina meters? How do you do it? Like, that is the question everyone wants answered, because we're going to see more and more free-to-play games, and more people are going to experiment with how to monetize that. And we're going to see systems like Diablo where people are like, it costs $100,000 to max out your character. Or somebody on Twitch, I spent $10,000 and I got 0 legendary gems. Like, a lot of that stuff is going to go around, and like that highlights the incentive and the exploitation of people who have addictive personalities. Because if you're a gambling addict, you're going to buy into that and you're going to dump way too much money, way more money than you should. And systems like that are predatory, whether you use them or not. For some people, it's easy to say, that's not for me, I'm not going to do it. But other people, there's that little tick in their brain that makes them do it, and they want that dopamine.
When video game developers start hiring psychologists and economists, we know we're in trouble. And they do. They hire professional psychologists and economists to manipulate the player. And that's a scary, scary world. And I don't think there is an easy solution, because if you can't make money out of releasing a product of that quality on mobile for free, why would you do it?
Because no one wants to pay for anything.
Yeah. Everyone wants, can I have
no
the
one
best
wants
thing
to
ever,
pay-
but I don't want to pay anything for it ever. Is that okay?
And no one wants to pay any more than they already do for anything.
But yes.
Again, I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm just saying that that's a byproduct of that issue. So, as we've said many times, games still cost the same as they have for 30 years, and the price hasn't gone up on them. If anything, it's gone down, because we were paying $70 and $80 US for games back in the 80s and 90s. So the price is
SNES cartridge was like $85 back in 1994, which is like
we're actually paying less
bucks now.
Yes, so we're actually paying less for games now, yet the cost of those games has exploded. So something's got to give, because most games aren't Nintendo games that sell 15, 20, 25, 30 million copies each time. There was even Wii U games that were cracking 10 million, and that console only sold 12.
Yeah.
Like,
Nintendo
is Nintendo. And Nintendo's games don't cost as much to make as well. So they buck that trend too. So something's got to give. Like, it's got to give somewhere. So it's hard. It's hard to complain about this stuff, but then also be like, well, no, I don't want to pay $70 for games.
All hail Game Pass, Lord and Savior. Thank you, Microsoft, for the check.
That's the thing, isn't it?
All right.
A couple more community questions.
We've hit 2 hours, so I want to try and hammer through them and then finish up with our predictions. And
Morventhus, what would you imagine this E3 season looking like if Sega was still a console maker? Or what is a dumb, realistic-sounding E3 rumor you can make up on the spot? Oh, God, if Sega was still a console maker, oh, my God, it would be so good.
I don't know if it would be
so amazing.
I don't know.
Could you imagine they announced their new console or
House of the Dead 9 coming to coming to the Dreamcast 5
or Virtual Fighter 6. Ah, so good. Dumb, realistic sounding E3 rumor you can make up on the spot. Viva Pinata 3 by Playtonic.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I'm trying to think of a really dumb one.
That's a dumb sounding realistic rumor,
dumb yet
isn't it?
believable one.
Dumb, realistic sounding. Viva Pinata 3, and it's not even by Rare. It's by like Playtonic, who are ex-Rare. For the extra irony.
People Can Fly, Duke Nukem Forever 2. Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah,
Forever.
That's a good one. Bulletstorm has that lineage.
Got that spice. It's got that
style, and it's
all right. I don't know if this is too dumb. Halo Covenant by Machine Games, where you fight back against a brutalistic empire called the UNSC.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
There you go. I don't know.
give me that game, actually. I want that.
Yeah, I kind of want it.
I could get into that.
Oh, dear. Right, okay.
Now, this may be the last one.
You've got 2. You've got Phylaxis at the end. And
what about Hughes? Did we do Hughes?
No, we didn't. Yeah, you got Hugh, Phylaxis, and Dirty Flint.
Dirty Flint. Hello, Kings. Why is Fortnite so good? And Nick is totally right about it. Also, how do I not lose at it? I can constantly place top 10 and have gotten second a few times since I started playing a week ago, but number 1 has yet to happen.
Sounds like you've lost every time, bro. You might want to check your numbers. You only win if you win.
He said also, how do I not lose at it? Or he should have said, how do I win? He phrased that in a weird way.
How do I not lose at this?
What can you say? Do a lot of camping, Dirty Flint. While you're still fresh to Fortnite, hide in the bushes, find ways to hide and cherry pick people. Like, let everyone else take each other out and then scoop in for the win at the end. That's my advice while you're a noob. But yeah, Fortnite is amazing. I did not buy the Obi-Wan skin. I'm very proud of myself that I resisted buying Obi-Wan. But I did buy the Pac-Man emote, which is where your character jumps on an arcade stool, pulls out a joystick, and
why is the arcade cabinet above your head, though? What's up with that?
No, it's the actual game is playing above your head.
That's what I'm saying. Why is it above your head? Why isn't it in front of you?
So you can see it. The player can see it. It's great.
Silly.
I love that.
It's all silly.
My son got so excited when he saw that because he loves Pac-Man, and he got very, very excited when he saw that.
You keep playing your adverts, yeah? Your marketing FPS.
I mean, Fortnite is like I was turned off from Fortnite for years because I bought Fortnite back when Fortnite was a paid thing. I bought Fortnite, and then when they did the like, oh, we're gonna copy PUBG, I was like, man, that's not what I signed up for. So I've wrote it off for several years, but been playing over the last like year. And yeah, it's so dumb. The terrible, stupid dances with Master Chief. It's amazing. It's so good. No. Getting in a car with a squad that's Venom, Marcus Phoenix, Master Chief, and Ghost Rider,
and Aloy,
and blasting the new Red Hot Chili Peppers song as you're like fighting.
He's literally marketing the game, and it makes me sick to my stomach.
It's the best form of stupid, pointless crossovers that I could hope for.
It's doing a better job of it than Marvel.
It's so good.
All right.
Okay. Hugh. Howdy panel and congratulations XboxEra crew on the launch of Day 1.
That's a good segue. Let's mention that quickly. We recently launched Day 1, which is available to everyone on XboxEra. All you have to do is be a member of the forums, and you can use it to collect your library of Game Pass games, track what's coming, what's leaving, leave reviews, discuss on the forums. More functionality is coming, but we did just update today, like literally while we were on the show. I got a message from our developer that you can now differentiate. They've added some PC Xbox labels so that when you're browsing, you can see what version you're looking at. And more updates are on the way. And then, we'll look to doing crazy things like Xbox Live integration. But yeah, definitely go check it out. day1.xboxera.com.
Can we add games to that, or can only the developer do it?
Well, at the moment, it uses an API call to pull what's coming to Game Pass, what's been announced. But we do have admin back-end access, because one of the conversations we had as we're building a community around Game Pass for our community is, okay, I've played this game and it's in my library, but then it leaves the service. But I want to keep it in my library to say that I played it, I rated it this. We've worked out a system where we can effectively grayscale the game. Label it as no longer available, but you can still go read about it, read the reviews, blah, blah. Okay. And there's lots more stuff to come, but it was super exciting to get it out there, mostly because it gives us more push to hear feedback from everybody that's using it. And we'll look to do even sexier, cool things like integrating with your gamer tag and achievements. All of that fun stuff is on the cards. But yeah, go check it out, folks.
Are you a member of the forum, Miles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't use it.
Just wanted to make sure.
But yeah, I'm in there.
I just wanted to make sure.
It was crazy. We got nearly, I think it's 600, 700 plus signups when we announced Day 1.
We got a whole bunch. I was approving accounts off the time. The most work I've ever done. Silly.
If you were ever banned, that was the time to try and sneak through with your alt.
No, I was doing proper checks on all of them.
We caught a few. So,
I was doing IP checks on them. Thank you very much.
Good man. Okay. Well done. Okay.
We didn't even ask the question. Quick question for you. With Xbox now producing numerous multi-platform games, do you think they should place included on Xbox Game Pass on the front cover artwork for physical and digital releases? Some people still don't realize that various games are on Game Pass, even developed by Xbox. By doing this, they could raise awareness of Game Pass and also increase the game's association with the Xbox brand, especially with new acquisitions like Bethesda or ABK. As a follow-up question, do you think competing platforms would allow it? I would find it quite amusing to see a Game Pass advertised on the front of Nintendo or PlayStation game case. Well, yeah, that part's never going to happen.
They could only ever do that with Xbox original first-party owned IPs and games, because games aren't permanent in Game Pass unless they're owned by Microsoft. Right, so you might get 3 months, you might get 6 months, you might get a year, 2, whatever, but it's not permanent, so you can't print that physically. But no reason they couldn't do that with their own stuff. That's, Call of Duty 2024, 2025 available on Xbox Game Pass. Why not? You can do that. You own it.
Do it. The only question would be, what's the incentive to the retailer then? Like, that would be a conversation to have with your retailers where you say, we're going to put an ad that you can just get this on Game Pass on your physical copy. So, and they're going to be like, well, then why am I going to put this in my store, dude? But again, you don't have to use Game Pass. It's an option, but I think just a nice banner on the glass case in a store would be as effective and probably more, understanding.
That's a good point.
The business owner.
Fair point.
Okay, last question.
Last one,
Yes.
and then we'll get on to our
Last one.
final
Philaxis.
predictions.
Happy pre-showcase greetings to the lovely panel and Nick. Okay. Some time ago, I mentioned Power Wash Simulator in a question, and at the time, it was only in early access on Steam. Now its full launch is July 14th on Xbox, Windows, and Steam. Do you think this game would be a good fit for Game Pass? Bonus question, how many times will the word exclusive show up in the Xbox Showcase? Gold star smelly sticker if you get it right.
I love a smelly sticker. Strawberry flavour, please.
Yeah.
30 times.
30.
Really?
I'm gonna say 21.
Ooh. Nick?
20.
Oh.
The price is right. I'm going to do the price is right
son
on
of
you,
a-
and I'm going to say 20.
If it goes over 25,
right.
then I'm the... No, if it goes over 26, then I'm the winner. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but Power Wash Simulator, that came out of nowhere, huh?
I will definitely play it, and I hope it does come to Game Pass, because,
It will eventually.
Power
It
Wash
will
is
ev- Even
very
if it doesn't
satisfying.
launch, it will eventually.
They all come eventually.
They all come eventually.
Any
They
sim,
all
any
fit
sim you can
into
think
my
of, sprinkle it in there. Let's go.
The Germans need
dirty.
it for their market. That's what it is. Okay. All right. We're coming up to the end of the show. We're ticked over 2 hours quite easily.
We have
but
a
before
few
we do anything,
couple
we have,
of super chats.
we have to take care of a super chat from Jeff Grubb.
Jeff Grubb throwing money around?
Labara X. Microsoft will end the show with a megaton, the game of the generation. Bug Snacks 2.
People poop
Wow.
on Bug Snacks, but Bug Snacks kind of a banger, y'all. Play it if you haven't. It's in Game
I
Pass.
played it for 2 hours. I gave
Is
up.
it though?
I mean, do you enjoy
Chris
fun?
Hemsworth, is it though?
I don't like
like-
Pokemon or anything like that.
It's
so-
not Pokemon.
Hey.
If you like Viva Pinata, definitely check it out.
Bug Snacks gave us Grub Snacks. And speaking of Grub
Yes.
Snacks, Jeff Grubb's got a super chat in the chat.
That's the real Jeff Grubb, isn't it?
That's the real Jeff
Because you know
Grubb.
how we had the imposter for a while there that kept popping
Yeah.
up?
I've clicked gone to channel, and it's brought me to Jeff Grubb's Game Mess, 35.1 thousand
Okay.
subscribers. Congratulations on joining Giant Bomb.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
big
that's
ups.
right.
Jeff out there
Jeff.
making moves. Proud to
Yeah.
see
Yeah, we
my
did ban
dude
the
out
other
there.
one.
One Jeff to replace the Jeff that left.
Yeah.
That's right.
Man, Jeff Gerstmann launched his Patreon, and he's like 6,000 patrons, and I'm like looking at 100 plus, and I'm like, never mind.
What do you do?
I'm not jealous.
What do you do? So Jeff has said Diablo 4 Xbox Series portable launch exclusive.
Now
is he
we did
teasing?
somewhere, y'all.
Can you imagine?
Is he teasing?
Because now that I've had the Steam Deck life, now that I've been a part of the culture, Xbox, what's the? I know you're going to mobile phones, whatever, blah blah blah, and that's not enough. Give me that dedicated Xbox hardware, and let me play all of. Because I only have like 200. I only have
portable.
200 Steam games, but compared to my Xbox library, that's nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about hardware at the show, because I think that's a great shout from Jeff. Right. I don't think we'll see Diablo 4 announced as exclusive because the acquisition isn't done. But let's talk about potential hardware, because Jez did a big piece on Project Keystone. Microsoft actually made a statement and was like, yeah, we've actually kind of taken it back to the drawing board. We'll update you soon. But do we think there will be any type of hardware reveal at this show tomorrow?
Maybe.
I would
It's
say
possible.
I'm leaning towards no, not for the main show. Maybe the secondary show we get your white Elite 2. And there, what about that?
Oh,
So
I need that
not
controller,
exciting,
man.
sexy
I need
hardware,
that controller so bad.
You think just controllers? You don't
I think the
anything
focus
more
for the
ambitious?
games, the quote games showcase will be games and not hardware. But
Tom and Jeff are punching on in the chat.
Tom Henderson's in here.
Tom wants to be a mod.
Jeff goes, Jeff's a mod and not me. Now, Tom, Jeff is a mod because we had a fake Jeff Grubb that kept appearing in our chat. And I kept asking the real Jeff Grubb. I'm like, were you in our chat today? He's like, nope. I'm like, well, someone that looked like you was in our chat today. So we had to make the real Jeff Grubb a mod to weed out the fake Jeff Grubb. You've got a tick next to your name, so there can't be a fake you.
That's true. You're verified, Tom.
It's
You know-
not that we don't want to make you a mod or anything. It's just that there's no fake you that we have to weed out.
Okay, that's what it is, huh?
Come on, Tom. Don't be like that, please. Come on, Tom. Please don't be like that. Come on, mate.
Oh, and Phil
Come on,
Spencer
mate.
is in here too, and he's saying no
Oh,
fakes
God.
allowed.
That's right, our friend Phil.
Good to see Phil.
Where's Jim Ryan? Where's Jim Ryan?
That's the real Phil. That's the real Phil Spencer.
Make him a mod. Come on, dude.
Yeah, make him a mod.
All right,
That's
so
funny.
you
I
think
wonder whose
hardware
account that is.
wise, nothing new, sexy, exciting, just games and some controllers in the extended showcase. Like, would you freak out if they announced something massive, like
No,
the portable?
a portable?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we had a rumor mill, didn't we? Not long ago.
Yes, we did, and there has been rumors before and after that rumor mill, right?
Had a rumor mill that Microsoft
what-
would have a hardware announcement that's outside their normal
Colored
bucket
controllers
that
bucket
people
list.
expect of them.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd love an Xbox portable, like a shrunk down Series S.
Yeah, just a 720p screen. Don't
Do,
care.
do the OLED though. Don't.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's my
OLED,
one complaint
an
about the
OLED
Steam Deck.
1080 screen,
not-
an OLED 1080 screen. That would
1080.
be-
I mean, that's gonna be expensive.
Power
OLED
drive
But
as
1080?
well.
question without notice. Question.
Question.
Do they have a slot in it for the card? The
expansion
SSD
card?
That would be
If it
cool.
existed, if it did
Oh,
exist,
that would be
would
cool. I've got the
would it need
daydream.
to have? Would it like if it's a piece of Xbox hardware that falls in line with the
It would be
series
amazing
family?
if they allowed for.
Does it
the-
have a
the-
slot that supports that card
Yeah.
Taking
going
me back
into
to
it?
Game Gear days.
Yes,
I don't
it
know.
does.
I've still got my Game Gear, and I have one on my wall back there.
Yeah, I would love it because that would be perfect because we're talking about full compatibility, your digital library. Oh, you're going out. Take it from your console, put it in,
Card.
flap a little rubber USB cover over the top, protects the card within the case. You've got a terabyte's worth of games on your digital device, and I'm recognizing that I'm playing on the, whatever project we're going to call this, and I'm going to convert all my games to 720p 60 on a lovely OLED screen with a nice response rate. Job done. Happy.
Could you imagine? Oh,
I could imagine, and
I wanna
I'm now
live
doing
in
that
that
with
world.
the price.
I would buy one so fast. Like, I would pay all of the monies.
Yeah, I'd get one
For that
I'd get
thing.
one on launch day. That would be
I'd get one for my son because he would not use his Series S anymore. He would just use the portable and probably never touch the Switch again. Man.
But they'd
That
have
would
to
be
get
something.
they'd have to get that balance of power and performance. Just like I would want full, not
And battery
half-assed,
life.
full
The battery life
compatibility
would
and
last
battery life.
potentially like 15
2-3
minutes. The battery
Yeah,
just
it's
goes.
sad.
You
You're like,
get the title
"Hey,
screen, it's like-
please insert your memory card. Okay, reading the memory card. Beep beep. Battery just goes. See you later, and it just dies.
Oh man! All right, okay, that's it. Right,
That'd be so good.
Jeff Grubb's hilarious tangent aside.
Yes.
First question. We'll just quickly go around. What are they going to close the show with? And then we'll go around one last time for your kind of bullet list. What do you see? What do you not see? Final thoughts on the showcase before we.
Why
wrap
don't we
it up
just
for the night.
blend that into one?
All right, then let's do that. So we'll start with you, Nick.
Me? Okay.
What are they going to end the show on?
What do I think?
Final
What do I think will
thoughts.
be there, and what do they end on? Okay, what do I think will be there? I think we have to see GoldenEye. Like we have to. The achievements have all leaked. They are on the Xbox website. That if they could not possibly be dumb enough to not have GoldenEye at this show, so it would just be insane if it's not there.
Yeah.
So GoldenEye. I don't know if we'll get. Jez said that Gears Collection's not there, so it's probably not. It's I never said it would be. What?
I thought we lost you for a second.
Yeah,
you
for
went
a
a bit
second.
skewy.
We were.
It's all right. Deep breaths. You're fine. You're not frozen.
Isn't it funny that every time I mention that
Gears Collection, someone's
collection,
unplugging
something
your pad.
happens?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, to avoid
Coincidence?
that happening
I
again,
think not.
I'm hotspotting on my phone right now. I'm not even
Oh.
connected to my home internet anymore. I've been hotspotting to my phone since the last dropout.
Okay. All right. Keep going before it crashes.
Okay, I think we will have something Star Wars related.
Ooh. Okay.
I think there'll be something exclusive to Xbox Star Wars related.
Maybe Yoda the game?
I don't know. Something. Whether it's Mandalorian, whether it's High Republic, whether it's something. I think there'll be something Star Wars related to Xbox. Indiana Jones. I think Sarah will make an appearance to announce some Japanese stuff. I reckon, because that's her thing. She pushes for the Japanese games. So I think she'll come out. Maybe it's Persona. Maybe it's Final Fantasy VII Remake. Didn't that come off the exclusive list on the PlayStation Store or whatever?
Because it's coming to Steam,
yeah. Maybe Sarah comes out to announce those things. What else? I think so. We'll see Starfield at the start with Redfall probably. I reckon they might close the show with Splinter Cell.
Close the show with a third party, unless that's exclusive.
Yep. Well, maybe it is exclusive.
If it's exclusive, fine. But...
Maybe Microsoft just took the gloves off. Maybe Microsoft just took the gloves off and said, "You know what, Sony? I'm freaking tired of you just. I'm freaking tired of you just going and money hatting everything. I'm gonna go and money hat something." And they just get Splinter Cell.
They bought the iPad.
What else do I think will be there? So I mean, Forza Motorsport, they'll show something. What else? That's all I can. I wrote a list in the Discord and I can't remember it.
I know there's so much. There's a lot of possibilities, so it's hard to just like rattle off the 30 games that might be shown.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, there's going to be so many games there, and there's going to be third-party stuff, I assume, as well. It won't be just first-party. There'll be third-party as well. So, I don't know. What else? You know what? I'm going to keep thinking about it. Let's go to one of you.
Okay. Go on, Miles. What do you reckon? What are they going to finish with? And in general, bullet list, what do you think overall is going to be there in general?
It's hard. The finale is important. The finale is so important because it's
got to set the tone.
That's the lasting memory. That's the thing you want people to keep talking about. That the show wraps and people are like, "Oh man, I can't believe they did this." If Kojima's Overdose is being shown here,
Overdose.
I can't think of that. I can't think of an announcement that would be more exciting. If that is an Xbox exclusive, and if that is happening at this showcase, like that would be hard to top. But that being said,
as a close,
I want to see something new. So it needs. But I've also been saying Compulsion's game. I think that would be another exciting thing for me to close out the show. Another look at a big first-party Xbox game that shows the future. We're announcing something new. Compulsion from We Happy Few. Here's what their next project looks like. So I think in terms of ending, I would say Compulsion, unless Kojima is there, because really, that is a conversation piece. Regardless of whether or not you like Kojima, whatever. Xbox has struggled in Japan. Xbox has struggled with Japanese publishers. Kojima, again, whether you like him or not, he is a big figure in the industry, and that carries a lot of weight with it. So that would be a great way to end the show. Other stuff, in terms of third party, I think we're going to see Diablo 4. I think we are going to see gameplay for that. I want the release date. I think we'll see a splash screen that says 2022, holiday 2022, maybe. Maybe they'll be bold. Maybe they'll give us a hard date. And again, that would be a great way to fill the gap for the players looking forward to stuff like Starfield, have a nice RPG to square off the year. Again, I also think we're going to see Overwatch 2 as well. Maybe we'll get a release window. Maybe we'll get a beta date, open beta date as well. Dragon's Dogma 2. You know what?
Ooh.
We're seeing
but Capcom has their showcase.
Boom.
So there's been some developments regarding the whole Dragon's Dogma thing. Obviously, they updated their site for the 10th anniversary. They announced that they're going to have their showcase, which is going to focus on previously announced projects. But there's one showcase in between when they announced that and their showcase. And so we saw Capcom gave a lot to PlayStation. A lot. You got Street Fighter 6, you got Resident Evil 4 Remake. I think Xbox gets a bone in some capacity here, and they get Dragon's Dogma 2. And
an X bone.
And knowing, how big and bold Capcom is going with this franchises, it's going to be a bigger and broader sequel than a lot of people expect. So in terms of third party, that's my little cluster of cool third party stuff I think we see. I'm trying to think of stuff that you didn't touch on that we might also see there.
Yeah, because I found my list that I mentioned in the Discord, and Compulsion's game was on that list too. So I'm with you. I think Compulsion's thing.
And I know,
yeah,
there's been a lot of reports and ups and downs regarding Everwild, but I'm kind of in the camp that we see something. I don't know if I don't think it would be a gameplay breakdown, and I don't think they're going to do another CG trailer for it. But if they gave us an in-engine, just slice of game, showing off some of the environments, showing off the world to kind of, because if you've been following the game, if you've been following Xbox, there's the reports that it's in development hell, blah, 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 rebooted, blah, blah, blah. It would be a good way to show that, we are retooling things, but this game is still coming along. There is still something to show. So I hope we see Everwild, just a little taste of that. Again, not saying it will happen, but I'm hoping that's what we see there as well. What else?
Question about Diablo 4 for you.
Sure.
I have always speculated, I believe, that the ABK acquisition goes through this year. Sometime this year, personally. If Diablo 4 is a 2023 game, which means ABK potentially goes through before Diablo 4's release, do you think Diablo 4 would become a Psychonauts 2? And by that, I mean, do you think that Diablo 4 is an Xbox next-gen exclusive? So it doesn't get a PS5 version, it only gets PS4.
There's a lot of what ifs in there, because again, we have to factor in when Diablo 4 is coming out. If Diablo 4 is coming out this year, I don't see it launching in Game Pass. If it gets pushed to next year, and the deal happens to close, are they going to turn around and have the Game Pass deal done in a matter of months? I don't know, dude. I really don't. I don't think so, but who knows? Never say never. This industry is hard to keep track of, but I have a feeling with the size and scale of Activision Blizzard King that they're not going to skimp on any versions if they can.
Okay.
But
all right. Okay. Right. Just me then. What do I think they'll finish on? I think that they will finish on. I think they're going. I'm going to go full optimist with all of my things. So I think they're going to finish on showing us either, because the fans want it, and I know they do, and it's not something new, but it's something new in terms of gameplay. I think they'll finish on Fable or Perfect Dark gameplay. Just a boom. There it is. They'll have like a big moment, and then the one more thing will just be a little sneak peek. Okay, call me crazy. I think we'll see. This potentially rumored Minecraft RTS. I think we'll see a snippet of Project Cobalt. That could be the other one they finish on in Exile's new thing. Maybe we'll see like a trailer for that to hype people up. Forza Motorsport gameplay, Forza Horizon 5 DLC. I think we'll touch on services. So maybe we'll hear some new perks coming to Game Pass. Maybe we'll finally get a family plan that allows for multiple Xboxes. Maybe they'll make Xbox Live Gold free as a 1-2 counterpunch to Sony's recent movements in the space. Maybe they'll finally turn around and say, in Microsoft, we believe in gaming for everyone. And that's why we're dropping the multiplayer paywall, because you're right. We can't ask you to pay console players and not the PC folks. That wouldn't be fair. Boom. Then they've changed the game. That's a big statement as well, because for pundits out there, I don't have to pay to play online. Great. I think we will see... we'll see gameplay from third party. I think we'll see Rocksteady's Suicide Squad. I think we're going to see some gameplay from them. I think we'll see lots of very cool indies. I want to see dates for Somerville. I think we'll see Ark II.
Are we seeing Silk Song?
Oh, yes,
finally
Ark II.
happening.
That's the one I forgot to
Silk Song
mention.
on Game Pass. Yeah, that is a big rumor out there at the moment.
Yeah, the snitch.
hated Hollow
Snitch
Knight, so
Twitter
I
account.
don't give a crap.
You hated Hollow Knight?
I hated Hollow. I thought it was slow
I wasn't a big
and
fan of Hollow
boring.
Knight either.
My
I wasn't. A big
It was. Oh, here's a map. Oh, walk away. Oh, it's just slow.
There wasn't even a map.
It took a
That's
while
the
to get the
problem.
map. I think.
That's the problem.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I didn't rate it. Sorry.
I wasn't a
Hollow
fan.
Knight fans. And yeah, let's go crazy. I think that they'll do something nuts and shock everyone with the Banjo remake I so sorely want and deserve. There we go.
Oh yeah, I forgot. How could I forget to mention the Banjo remake? Yeah, Banjo remake. Yeah.
I don't hate Dark Souls. It's just not for me. But yeah. I'm as I was called a hipster in a private chat by Miles, funnily enough, when I was like, give me cool, quirky, unique indies over most AAA stuff. And yes, I am a hipster. I'm a video gaming hipster.
Speaking of which, if you haven't watched the trailer for The Plucky Squire,
that
is the best game reveal.
I want to review this.
Best game reveal of the summer so far.
And what about that skateboarding game?
Oh, Skate,
that's what's it called?
Skate song?
Skate Memory or something?
Either way, Tron meets skateboarding, right?
It's like all glass. You're made of
World?
glass.
What is it?
No, I think it's Skate Memory or something like that.
It is
Oh my
Skate
God.
Story.
Skate
Story.
Yeah.
Oh, looks amazing. Looks amazing. Just,
yeah,
so good.
But there you go. That is my final crazy list of stuff thrown at the wall.
I forgot about the Game Pass family plan. Completely. That would be something at the second showcase. Like that's the sort of thing where Satya would come along and be like, gaming is for everyone, and we believe in this and we believe in that. And here is the Game Pass
I don't
family
think so.
plan. And how, to me, that feels more like something. To me, that feels like something for the extended showcase.
No, I get that they've got to keep
and
pacing
Satya would
tight,
announce
but
something like that.
I think that those kind of things, there's always in any showcase, go watch them. There's always a little Phil Spencer or someone talking about what the future of gaming is, and they've done amazing hardware or service announcements, like when they reveal backwards compatibility. There are things that they could do in that space. Family plan maybe not be one of them, but if there's for example dropping Xbox Live Gold, right? This is just at the wall. There's nothing to base this on. It just I think it's just a good idea, and I would like to see it. But if they do that, and by the way, we want to make it even better. We're also bringing family plans, and we're bringing if they do that in 1 5-minute Phil Spencer, the world can be good if gamers come together speech. That's an easy one to fit in the showcase because it is a headline generator. Putting it in an extended showcase where not the whole world and it's not on TV and all of the usual stuff, not so much. But that's just my opinion. One last super chat to end the show.
Drawn TJ?
Yeah, let's answer that question.
Hi guys, you excited for tomorrow?
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right.
Let's video games, y'all. Come on.
I do like to keep my expectations tempered, though. I tend to do that always.
I like to dive down the conspiracy rabbit holes, but yeah, ultimately I know where my brain should be ahead of any of these shows.
Because we are still talking about Microsoft. You've always got to keep that in the back of your mind. We are still talking about Microsoft. So there's always
they could screw this up at any moment.
There's always that little... They always leave the door ajar just so the foot of disappointment can just break its way in and boom the door open. You just... You never know. You just never know.
Well, it's a bit out of order this week in terms of structure, but two last things.
These timestamps
First of all,
are going to suck.
Yeah, good luck with these. You need to get them ready before the show. Two last things. One, big thank you to our patrons. We did things a little bit differently because it was quite a conversational show and lots of theorizing. Yeah. But big thank you to our patrons that allowed for things like Day One and XboxEra to exist. We love you guys. If you are interested, if you've been watching us for nearly the past 3 hours and you want to support XboxEra directly,
sorry, Miles,
for as little as a cup of coffee, or for a lot more, but you get cool merch, head over to patreon.com/XboxEra to find out how. And you can get exclusive access to the Patreon lounge on our forums where you can throw really long-winded, definitely not short questions to me and Nick to throw towards the podcast and answer at your leisure. And equally, just last thing to mention, I am seeing 460 people walking, but only 281 likes. Can we get that over 300, please, guys? 20 more clicks. Come on, just press the button. Little thumbs up. It's
Smash
nice and
that
simple.
like button.
It'll give you an endorphin of being like, oh, I've made their day by like button.
You watch the number get bigger. That's exciting, right?
We feel it via haptics.
Yeah, like it buzzes in my pocket every like, and I have my phone between my legs. Okay, right, Miles. Big thank you for spending some time with us.
Thanks for making the time, mate.
Show.
Absolutely. It's been a while. You know,
It's
it's
been a pleasure.
obviously this is my third podcast of today, but it's
Madness.
the season. There's
Really?
a lot to talk
Third
about.
today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Marathon session.
Did you have to repeat yourself too much, or did you think you got away with it?
I've been trying to mix it up. You know, because we had our epic Xbox 2 prediction crossover where we went through everything, all the different publishers, went down the list.
Wow.
Keeping it a little more truncated on these to kind of mix it up. And there's been new developments and new possibilities, and you know, all will be revealed tomorrow. I'm playing a little game with Jez and Rand. Our prediction show is a little bit old, but I made them commit. They're notoriously waffly when it comes to their predictions or what it may be. I don't know. Yes or no. We played a game of yes or no. Is it here? Yes or no. And we went down the list. We got somebody who has an Excel spreadsheet of everything we talked about, and we're going to tally it up at the end. It's going to be a list of W's and L's, and we're going to share it online and see where we stand there. But yeah,
beautiful. Well, we'll let you know. Creaky Legs had his 7-question questionnaire that we all answered. So we'll let you know what your score is. I'm sure he'll post it online. But a big thank you to the nearly 500 people that were watching us live for pretty much the entire show. It was really cool. The chat was great. Big thanks to Jeff Grubb, Tom Henderson, Phil Spencer, Jim Ryan, all the other fun, fake or real, we're not quite sure, that turned up in the chat. And thank you for getting us to over 300 likes. It's been a blast. We will be back again tomorrow, 5:30 British summertime, so half hour before the showcase in whatever time zone you're in.
2:30 a.m. Australian.
2:30 a.m. Australian. What is it for you, Yanks, Jesse?
It is 12:30, I believe.
12:30.
Eastern, 9:30.
10 a.m.
Pacific.
So unfair.
Excellent. That's when we'll be back. We'll do a little pre-show. You'll be joined by myself, Nick, Nottian, and Soul Blazers, and Jesse. We'll watch the
not
show.
Soul Blazers, Forebear. You got it wrong, dummy.
I have got it wrong. Thank you for
You're the one who
correcting
made
me.
the choice.
Well, and it's not Forebear anymore. It's Austin Ford Games.
Yeah, but
'Cause he
we got
changed his
that was going to
game
be the
tag.
big thing.
Oh,
I was going to
okay. All right,
introduce them all.
it.
By the way,
Ryan.
Ryan P in the chat, it looks like I am going to have an all-nighter because I forgot that I told someone I would be on their podcast, which starts at midnight. So
Good luck.
I won't be able to have that nap before the Xbox
nap
Game
for you.
Showcase that I was hoping for. I'm going to be up. Literally, I'm on Wandering Duchess. Then I'm going on to Nintendo Prime. No, sorry. I'm going on to Wandering Dutch, then ours, then Nintendo Prime, and then the day after Colts.
Good luck.
So I'm going to be so tired.
You'll be like, hello, everyone. I've been talking for 12 hours. But yeah, so
God.
we'll be there half hour before the show. 5 of us through the live stream, but then we'll be inviting as many of the XboxEra team to an after-show panel to discuss all of the ups, downs, highs, lows, exciting moments of the show, all the surprises. We'll break it down. And then we'll be back next week as normal on Saturday.
Yeah.
So really
Jean-Claude
looking
Van
forward
Damme,
to
no
it.
retreat, no surrender.
Gears Collection for life, yo.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you, Miles, for coming to hang out. And we will see all of you tomorrow.
Ciao for now.